Chapter 26. Suburbs of the Imperial Capital. The night raid is officially established. This will be our base in the future, said Nishitan. I'll assign the tasks. Lubbock is responsible for vigilance, Maine and Hill will enter the Imperial Capital to collect intelligence. Yes, boss. Maine, remember to pay attention to Nangong Long's information. If possible, I hope to win him over. Even if that's not possible, try to avoid becoming his enemy, Nishitan reminded. No. Outside the Imperial City Gate. I'm leaving now, Asteth said reluctantly. Nangong Long held her in his arms and said, I'll come see you. Well, I will also solve the rebellion as quickly as possible and come back. After Nangong Long let go of Asteth in his arms, he cast a mental magic to notify Tyrande to come and see him. Roar, what is that? It's a dangerous species, beware, you are embarrassing the general by being so flustered. Stand still. It's just the Duke's pet. It won't be in any danger, Leva shouted. The soldiers immediately restored order. Although they were still frightened, they were no longer as out of control as before. Take it with you, it will be more convenient, said Nangong Long. Okay, I'll listen to you. Asteth suddenly kissed Nangong Long, then turned and left. Set off really? Can't you just let me savor it for a while? Nangong Long muttered. Everyone has left, so I'll go back too. Nangong Long was walking on the road when a pink-haired loli suddenly appeared in front of him, so he decided to imitate the evil nobleman. Maine, who had just arrived in the Imperial Capital, was excitedly taking Hill for a stroll, under the pretext of gathering intelligence. As Maine was about to go to the next store, she was suddenly blocked by a young man. She was going to give way to avoid unnecessary trouble, but the other party's next words immediately made her furious. Hey, little girl, you look good. Come and smile at me, Nangong Long said teasingly, standing in front of the two of them. Since you want to be beaten, don't blame me for being rude, Marin said fiercely. Beat me? I'm a noble. Try to hit me. The guards will surround you in minutes, Nangong Long said arrogantly. When the people around heard that the other party was a noble, they immediately hid away. Even those who had planned to step forward to help retreated for fear of getting into trouble. He turned out to be a noble. This is trouble. There are so many people here. If I beat him, I will definitely be wanted. It seems that I have to think of a way to trick him away, Marin thought. As for whether Nangong Long was talking nonsense, Marin denied it after thinking about it. No one would be stupid enough to pretend to be a noble in the Imperial Capital. That would be seeking death. The public's reaction was not surprising to Marin. She had not expected them to do anything, so she was not disappointed. Her childhood experience taught Marin that people can only rely on themselves. Hill made a covert gesture, asking Maine whether she wanted to kill him. Maine shook her head and gave Hill a reassuring look, saying, Leave everything to me. So it's you, the noble lord. I'm really sorry for what happened just now. Can you forgive us? Maine said with a smile, suppressing her nausea. Oh, let's see how you perform, Nangong Long said with a wicked smile. What does the adults want us to do? Maine said cutely, blinking her big eyes. You understand very well, good, good. Then accompany me shopping first, and then go home with me, Nangong Long said with a malicious smile. Yes, we will all listen to you, sir. We only ask you to forgive us afterwards, said Maine pretending to be afraid. In fact, she was thinking, damn nobles, just wait for me. Once we get to a deserted place, I will not be called Maine unless I beat you into a beehive. It's your turn, why don't you smile for me? Nangong Long said, lifting Hill's chin. Hill had a blank expression on her face until mine tugged at the corner of her clothes, then she forced a smile. It's so ugly and fake, Nangong Long said with disgust. Marin clenched her fists, wishing she could kill this troublemaker right now. Aren't we going shopping? Let's go quickly. After calming down her own emotions, Marin quickly changed the subject. If Nangong Long did something out of line, Hill would probably just go crazy and kill someone. Let's go to the center of the Imperial Capital. There's nothing great to see here, said Nangong Long. Okay, I'll listen to you, sir, Marin replied. Hill remained silent. She knew that she was very naive and anything she said might lead to bad consequences. Only after seeing Nangong Long leave did people dare to start talking. Those two girls are finished. Who said it wasn't? What a pity. Damn nobles, hey, you're killing yourself, what nonsense are you talking about? Looking at the dazzling commercial street in front of her, Marin was completely dazzled. She had never seen such a prosperous city before. After walking around for a while, a clothing store caught Mine's attention. "Can we go to that store, sir?" Marin said coquettishly, enduring her discomfort. Seeing her hard work, Nangong Long suppressed his smile and nodded, "Good, thank you, sir." "Hill, let's go take a look." "Welcome, Your Excellency the Duke," the shop owner said hurriedly when he saw Nangong Long coming in. "I had come here several times before with Zai Lu and the others, so the store owner knew Nangong Long. He is a duke, no wonder he is so arrogant. But at this age, could it be him? Impossible." Akame said that the man was a good person, how could it be this dandy scum? Marin denied the thought that had just arisen in her mind. Then her eyes were attracted by the clothes in front of her. She picked them up and looked at them. She was immediately disappointed because she didn't have enough money. Night Raid had just been established and had not yet started taking business, so Main didn't have much money. Looking at Main standing motionless in front of the clothes, Nangong Long walked over, pointed directly at the clothes, and said to the boss, "I want this dress." "Yes, I'll pack it for you right away. Since you bought me clothes, I'll give you a quick death later," Marin thought. "And this one, this one." Nangong Long bought more than a dozen pieces of clothes in one go. There was nothing he could do as there were so many girls in his family, so he had to give them all away, otherwise they would be angry. "What about you? Is there anything you want to buy?" Nangong Long looked at Hill and asked. "No." Chapter 27. "You must pick one," Nangong Long said in feigned anger. "Then let's go for this one," Hill said, pointing to a purple cheongsam-like dress. "Wrap up." Nangong Long waved his hand and all the wrapped clothes disappeared. This scene surprised Main and Hill. They raised Nangong Long's danger level a lot in their minds. After all, this unknown ability was the most troublesome. The shop owner's reaction was indifferent. Nangong Long had done the same thing several times before, so the owner must have gotten used to it. "What was that just now?" "It was amazing," Marin asked as she walked out of the store. "Nothing, just a little trick," Nangong Long replied calmly. Sure enough, he wouldn't say it easily, Marin thought. As for the little trick Nangong Long mentioned, Marin just thought it was his excuse. Little did she know that Nangong Long really thought so. For him, storage was really simple. "It seems that I can only find an opportunity to kill him with one blow and not give him the chance to use his ability. This is really troublesome," Marin thought. When Nangong Long walked into the alley, Ma Yin could no longer bear it and killed Nangong Long directly, followed by Hill. Nangong Long easily blocked the attacks of the two. "Be careful, the other party is quite powerful," Marin reminded. "Yeah," Hill responded. "Die, UBD!" Marin shouted. "This move is not up to standard, you need to work on it, Mine." Hill's moves are good, but the power is a little lacking. "It's none of your business," Marin yelled. "Thank you for your guidance," Hill said calmly. Nangong Long dealt with the attacks of the two while pointing out their shortcomings. After just a few rounds, Main and the other person were defeated and were restrained in place by Nangong Long's magic. "What did you do to us?" Mine said in horror. She had no idea why she couldn't move. "Come at me if you want to do anything, let Main go," Hill shouted from the side. If Pumpkin was here, he would definitely beat this damn guy to death. Because they were here to gather intelligence, Main and Hill did not bring any imperial tools, as they would be too conspicuous. "It is my intention to kill you. As long as you release Hill, I will let you do whatever you want." "No, don't listen to her, it's my decision," Hill retorted. "It's such a good relationship." Nangong Long snapped his fingers to break the magic. That was about it. If he continued playing like that, Marin might shoot him the next time they met. When she found that the restraint on her body had disappeared, Marin did not feel relieved. Instead, she asked more vigilantly, "What do you want to do?" Hill stepped forward and blocked Marin behind him to prevent Nangong Long from making a sudden attack. "Don't be so nervous. Think about it carefully. If I really wanted to harm you, I would have arrested you long ago. Why would I let you wander around the street with me?" Nangong Long said with his hands spread out. "What exactly do you want to do?" Hill asked solemnly. Nangong Long did not answer, but put the clothes he had bought earlier into Xier's hands, and then said in the surprised eyes of the two, "These are yours. The black one is for Akame, the light blue one is for Tsukushi, and the white one is for Bonnie. This dark purple dress is for your boss. Who are you and why do you know so much about us? Marin asked in shock. Tell Kaitong that Haitong and the others have been cured by me, so don't worry, Nangong Long said irrelevantly. You are Duke Nangong Long, Ma Yun said in disbelief. How could this be? You were said to have a kind personality. By the way, does Naja have long hair or short hair now? Nangong Long did not respond, but looked at Hill and said. Short hair. Now that he knew the other party's identity, Hill was not as vigilant as before. Is that so? Then please tell her that I still like her with long hair. Before you leave, I have a message for you. It's not easy to get lost in the imperial capital. Don't act rashly without knowing the enemy's intelligence. Be careful in everything. Also, I just wanted to scare you guys just now, don't take it to heart, ha 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 ha. After saying that, Nangong Long used magic to teleport back home instantly. Wait a minute, UBD, Mayan shouted, but unfortunately Nangong Long could no longer hear her. Let's go, mine, the boss and the others are still waiting. I will definitely shoot him next time we meet, Marin said angrily. Chapter 27. You must pick one, Nangong Long said in feigned anger. Then let's go for this one, Hill said, pointing to a purple cheongsam-like dress. Wrap up. Nangong Long waved his hand and all the wrapped clothes disappeared. This scene surprised Main and Hill. They raised Nangong Long's danger level a lot in their minds. After all, this unknown ability was the most troublesome. The shop owner's reaction was indifferent. Nangong Long had done the same thing several times before, so the owner must have gotten used to it. What was that just now? It was amazing, Marin asked as she walked out of the store. Nothing, just a little trick, Nangong Long replied calmly. Sure enough, he wouldn't say it easily, Marin thought. As for the little trick Nangong Long mentioned, Marin just thought it was his excuse. Little did she know that Nangong Long really thought so. For him, storage was really simple. It seems that I can only find an opportunity to kill him with one blow and not give him the chance to use his ability. This is really troublesome, Marin thought. When Nangong Long walked into the alley, Ma Yun could no longer bear it and killed Nangong Long directly, followed by Hill. Nangong Long easily blocked the attacks of the two. Be careful, the other party is quite powerful, Marin reminded. Yeah, Hill responded. Die, UBD. Marin shouted. This move is not up to standard, you need to work on it, mine. Hill's moves are good, but the power is a little lacking. It's none of your business, Marin yelled. Thank you for your guidance, Hill said calmly. Nangong Long dealt with the attacks of the two while pointing out their shortcomings. After just a few rounds, Main and the other person were defeated and were restrained in place by Nangong Long's magic. What did you do to us? Mine said in horror. She had no idea why she couldn't move. Come at me if you want to do anything, let Main go, Hill shouted from the side. If Pumpkin was here, he would definitely beat this damn guy to death. Because they were here to gather intelligence, Main and Hill did not bring any imperial tools, as they would be too conspicuous. It is my intention to kill you. As long as you release Hill, I will let you do whatever you want. No, don't listen to her, it's my decision, Hill retorted. It's such a good relationship. Nangong Long snapped his fingers to break the magic. That was about it. If he continued playing like that, Marin might shoot him the next time they met. When she found that the restraint on her body had disappeared, Marin did not feel relieved. Instead, she asked more vigilantly, what do you want to do? Hill stepped forward and blocked Marin behind him to prevent Nangong Long from making a sudden attack. Don't be so nervous. Think about it carefully. If I really wanted to harm you, I would have arrested you long ago. Why would I let you wander around the street with me? Nangong Long said with his hands spread out. What exactly do you want to do? Hill asked solemnly. Nangong Long did not answer, but put the clothes he had bought earlier into Xier's hands, and then said in the surprised eyes of the two, these are yours. The black one is for Akame, the light blue one is for Tsukushi, and the white one is for Bonnie. This dark purple dress is for your boss. Who are you and why do you know so much about us? Marin asked in shock. Tell Kaitong that Haitong and the others have been cured by me, so don't worry, Nangong Long said irrelevantly. You are Duke Nangong Long, Ma Yun said in disbelief. How could this be? You were said to have a kind personality. By the way, does Naja have long hair or short hair now? Nangong Long did not respond, but looked at Hill and said. Short hair. Now that he knew the other party's identity, Hill was not as vigilant as before. Is that so? Then please tell her that I still like her with long hair. Before you leave, I have a message for you. It's not easy to get lost in the imperial capital. Don't act rashly without knowing the enemy's intelligence. Be careful in everything. Also, I just wanted to scare you guys just now, don't take it to heart, ha 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 ha. After saying that, Nangong Long used magic to teleport back home instantly. Wait a minute, UBD, Mayan shouted, but unfortunately Nangong Long could no longer hear her. Let's go, mine, the boss and the others are still waiting. I will definitely shoot him next time we meet, Marin said angrily. Chapter 29. A few days later. Why are you here? Nangong Long said to Marin. Do you think I want to come? It's because the boss said he wanted to see you, but it's not convenient for her to show up, so she asked us to invite you, Marin said unhappily. See me? What's the matter? The boss said you'll know when you get there, Hill replied. Then I'll go for a walk. Long, I want to go too, Sayla said. We want to go too. Okay, then let's go together, Nangong Long said with a smile. Is there anything wrong? Nangong Long turned and said to Marin. Well, let's do this, Marin frowned. Since Nangong Long was the only one who knew about the base, it meant that they knew about it too. It didn't matter. On the way to the night raid, are those things they are holding imperial weapons? Hill asked. I don't have that many imperial tools, but it's not bad, Nangong Long said casually. You are just bragging. The founding emperor spent the whole country's efforts to make 48 imperial weapons. You can't compare with any random weapon, unless you can make imperial weapons. But how is that possible, said Mayan Feng. Can I kill her, Your Excellency the Duke? Wu Min asked. Can you let Xiaobi eat her? Sayla said angrily. The other girls also had different reactions. Basically, they said, you look down on Nangong Long, so I'm going to teach you a lesson. Forget it. This is just Ma Yin's personality. You will know after getting to know her for a long time that she is just arrogant, Nangong Long said, waving his hand. I'm not at Sundara, so stop talking nonsense. If you want to fight, I'll accompany you, Marin retorted loudly. Let me chop her to pieces, Wu Min said in a low voice. Come on, Mine challenged. Main, stop talking, Hill stopped her. If you want to fight, we can talk about it when we get there, but it should be stopped at a certain point, Nangong Long said helplessly, covering his forehead. Okay, that's settled. Yes, Duke. Hei Tong approached Nangong Long inadvertently and asked in a low voice, Sundara? Like Jin. She is much more serious than Yin. I heard it, Hitomi Silver's voice came from behind. Yin, when did you run behind me? Hei Tong asked in surprise. Just when you came closer. I haven't seen Akaji and the others for a long time. I'm a little excited, Cole said with a smile. You're too happy, Cole, said Tycho. What should I do? Do you think I'm a traitor? Chelsea asked Tycho. That must be it, Mio nodded. Follow us when you get here, otherwise it will breach the alert, Marin reminded. Good, this is it. Boss and the others are waiting for you inside. Marin pushed open the door and shouted inside, I brought the people here, boss. Long time no see, gee, Nangong Long said with a smile. Yes, you are welcome. Sister, Tsukushi. Black pupil, Silver Sister Cole, I missed you so much, Bonnie shouted. I miss you too. Long time no see, said Tsukushi. Nangong Long opened his arms and smiled, would you like a hug? Tsukushi was a little shy, but still took a step forward and hugged him. I don't know what Nangong Long said to her, but Tsukushi's face suddenly turned red to her ears, and she ran away from Nangong Long's arms. What did you do to Tsukushi? Cole asked suspiciously. Nothing, she's just a little shy at this time. Bonnie rushed directly into Nangong Long's arms and said, did you miss me? Of course, Bonnie is so cute, how could I not miss her? Nan Xiaolong said with a smile. Sister, are you okay? Hei Tong asked. Well, boss is a very nice person. Sister, come with me to Long's side, so that we won't be separated anymore, Hei Tong invited. Not yet, I want to change the status quo of the empire, Akaji shook her head and refused. If that's the case, it's the same here. Why do you say that? Does Long want to do something? Asked Akame. After everyone had finished reminiscing about the past, the discussion officially began. Tell me, what do you want from me? Nangong Long asked. I would like to invite you to join the Revolutionary Army, Naj said straight to the point. Not interested, why? Don't you want to change this corrupt empire? Naj asked unwillingly. Whether or not to change the empire has no direct relationship with joining the Revolutionary Army. Joining the Revolutionary Army is the fastest way to change the empire, Naj asserted. No, the Revolutionary Army is doomed to fail, Nangong Long shook his head. Hearing Nangong Long say this, before Naja could even speak, Mayan loudly retorted, why do you say that? Because I didn't stand on the side of the Revolutionary Army, its failure was inevitable, Nangong Long said calmly. Where do you get your confidence from? Marin asked sarcastically. It was the first time she had seen such a conceited person. Main, that's enough, Naj stopped her. Does the Duke think he has a way to fight against both the Empire and the Revolutionary Army at the same time? Naj asked. How many people do you think are needed to deal with his death? Nangong Long did not answer, but asked another question. Although Naja didn't know why Nangong Long asked this, she still said according to her own speculation, we need at least 50,000 elite soldiers, and 10 divine servants including Akame. Boss, is his death really that strong? Lubbock said in disbelief. Naj nodded solemnly. You still underestimate her, Zhao, 50,000 elite soldiers are a joke. If Akame hadn't understood Murasame's secret technique, even a million-strong army wouldn't be able to do anything to his death. Unless she is unwilling to retreat, you can use her energy to kill her. Duke, are you kidding? Naja didn't want what Nangong Long said to be true. If it was, it would be terrible. Do you think I look like I'm joking? Nangong Long replied seriously. Naj frowned and began to think. At this time, Chi Tong looked at Nangong Long and asked, Ryu, what is Murasame's secret technique? Once you get Murasame's approval, your special move will naturally show up, but I don't want you to use it. Is there a price? Asked Akame. Tell me how to get Murasame's approval, Long, you know it, right? Akame asked after a moment of silence. Don't say that, Hei Tong hurriedly stopped him. Chapter 30. It's okay, Hei Tong. I believe your sister won't do it even if she knows, Nangong Long comforted. Kill the enemies, companions, relatives, and everyone will be killed to gain Murasame's approval. I only know this one method, and I don't know if there are other methods, Nangong Long said in a low voice. What? How can I possibly do such a thing? Akame shouted. This is the principle of the demon sword. Otherwise, it will be useless even if you destroy it. That's why I said you won't do it. I will try other methods. If it doesn't work, I'll just give up, Chi Tong said dejectedly. Sister, you are already very strong. There is no need to pursue that kind of moves. And if it doesn't work, you can ask Long for help, Hei Tong comforted. Yeah, I'm fine, Hei Tong, that's the end of the matter, Akame, just forget about it, said Nudge. Why did you tell me about his death? It's not just to remind me, is it? Nudge continued. His death is already mine, and I'm stronger than her. It's unrealistic to kill me with numbers. What? How could she change her 447 position? Naja was shocked. If this was true, the chances of the Revolutionary Army's victory would be even lower. As for Nangong Long saying that he could not be killed by numbers, Naja did not care at all. After all, she did not believe that a human being could defeat an army of millions. Nothing is impossible. My goals are not in conflict with hers. Impossible, as death would never want the country to be stable. She is a warmonger. Unless you don't want the empire to become a better place, Naj denied. Don't worry about that. Come to me and I'll tell you the reason, but it's definitely not what you think. Let me think about it. Okay, when you figure it out, let's go, said Nangong Long. Wait a minute, I haven't sparred with her yet, Mayan said, pointing at Wu Min. Marin did this not simply out of anger and wanting to teach the other party a lesson, but more because she wanted the boss to understand the other party's strength. You remember it very clearly, Nangong Long said helplessly. What do you think, Min? No problem, if she wants to be tortured, we will satisfy her. What's going on, Mayan? Naj asked. Hill briefly described what happened on the way here. In that case, let's go to the training ground, Naja suggested. No problem, now is the only time to admit defeat, said Mine. No need, I will be the winner, Wu Min counterattacked. Now that you're ready, let's get started, Wu Min continued. Anytime then I'm welcome. After saying that, Wu Min rushed towards Mayan. The speed was so fast that everyone who attacked at night was surprised. The attack came too fast, and Marin had no time to aim and shoot. She had no choice but to raise the pumpkin to block Wu Min's attack, and then quickly retreated. But Wu Min didn't give her a chance to distance herself, and kept pressing her. It didn't take long for Main to be defeated, and she didn't fire a single shot from beginning to end. This result was not surprising. Marin was not good at close combat, and since it was not a real life and death crisis, it was difficult for her to unleash the power of the pumpkin turret. On the other hand, Wu Min is not only good at close combat, but also equipped with the equipment given to her by Nangong Long, so there is no reason for her to lose. You lose, Wu Min said calmly. Don't be complacent, I will definitely beat you next time, Main said loudly. She didn't make excuses and say things like if I have the chance to shoot, you'll definitely lose. As a killer, she was not that naive. If you can, come on, Sek, are they all so strong? Naja said to Nangong Long, my strength is nothing. Sister Cole and the others are really strong, Wu Min answered her question. That's a really strong team, Naja exclaimed. Thank you for your hard work, said Nangong Long, putting his hand on Wu Min's shoulder. It's okay. Remember to play to your strengths, and don't use your weaknesses to attack the opponent's strengths. Compared to head-on combat, you are more suitable for selective attack. Nangong Long looked at Marin and said. What do you care? Marin muttered. I hope we can be companions next time we meet, Nangong Long said goodbye. Then, activate the portal and leave. This is the ability to teleport, right? Akame nodded. I've heard from Chi Tong before that Nangong Long has the ability to teleport instantly, but I was still a little surprised when I saw it with my own eyes. Boss, do you think what he said is true? Asked Brand, who had been silent all this time. Maybe. Dragons don't lie, Akame said affirmatively. 2 months later the news of the night raid had spread throughout the streets and alleys, but the nobles did not take it seriously and continued to do as they pleased, thinking that there were so many evil people and it was unlikely that they would be found by chance. In the past 2 months, Nichitan has not looked for Nangong Long again, and no one knows what she is thinking. Kurohime and the others would often go to the night raid base to visit Akame, Tsukushi, and the others. Wu Min and Ma Yin would fight every time they met, but their relationship did not deteriorate, but got better and better. Perhaps this was the friendship forged through fighting. Nangong Long went to the northern border several times to visit Esteth. Nangong Long originally planned to help, but Esteth refused. She said that this was her war and if it ended in 10 days, wouldn't it be no fun at all? Therefore, Nangong Long did not take action, but before leaving, he reminded Esteth that if the army was destroyed, it was destroyed, but the civilians would be fine, as they would also be citizens of the empire in the future. Esteth had no objection to this, but she didn't understand why Nangong Long, a strong man, cared about the lives of the weak. Nangong Long will not hesitate at all when it comes to killing someone, but this does not mean that he is bloodthirsty. Duke's Palace, sir, the person you are looking for has arrived in the imperial capital, the shadow demon said respectfully. Where are they? She has been taken home by a noble lady. Very good, continue monitoring. Yes, as early as when the night attack came to the imperial capital, Gu Guanlong sent out shadow demons to monitor the city gate and wait for the arrival of the Shehu giant. It looks like tonight will be a bloody night, Nangong Long said to himself. Chapter 31. Arya's home. Don't be anxious, eat slowly, there is still a lot, Arya said softly. Yes, who was deceived by Arya's disguise, said gratefully, you are such a good person. I am so lucky to meet you in the imperial capital. It's nothing. I'm happy to help people in need, Arya said shyly. Why did you come to the imperial city? Asked Arya's father. Of course it's to make a name for myself and do something great, Iaz said loudly. Don't be so rude, Shehu scolded. Actually, life in our hometown is very poor, so we plan to come to the capital to find a job to subsidize the village, Shehu explained. That's a good idea. Is there anything you guys want to do? I have some connections. No, no thanks. How can I trouble you so much? Shehu said embarrassedly. It's okay. Doing good deeds is our family tradition. Thank you so much. Shehu stood up and bowed to express her gratitude. What's wrong with you? Shehu shouted when she saw Ia suddenly fainted. Why do I feel a little dizzy? After saying that, Shehu also fell down. It's finally working. I don't have to act anymore. I can't wait to ravage her. She's a country girl but she has such beautiful long hair, Arya said twistedly. Don't be impatient, there's plenty of time for you to play slowly, said Arya's mother. Come on, lock them up, Arya's father ordered the guards. Let's play with them when they wake up. Their screams and struggles are the best music for me. Yes, father. Outside the gate, who are you? Stop immediately, or you will be killed as invaders, the guard at the gate shouted. Long, is this okay? Salo asked. Of course, those who aid and abet the evil are equally guilty. Then I feel relieved. Ziobi, do justice. Giant with 100 arms roar. What is that? A monster. Click, click. Seeing Ziobi swallow his companion whole and bite him to pieces, another guard was so scared that he turned around and wanted to run into the mansion to call for reinforcements, but before he could take a step, he was killed by Miozi. It's a dark and windy night, perfect weather for murder. Who cares about the weather when it comes to killing people? Leon complained. I'm just doing this for the occasion, Nangong Long shrugged indifferently. The beast's prison. What did you do? Cole asked. As a precaution to prevent anyone from escaping. From now on, people can only enter this mansion but not leave, Nangong Long replied. Brother Duke, do you want to leave any of them alive? Remus asked. Except the main culprit, all the others were killed. Why? Chelsea asked. It would be too easy for them to be killed so easily. You and Cosmia should just stay close to me. After all, you are not good at close combat, Nangong Long warned. Of the killing run, there's a monster. Click, click. Ridge crossing heavy explosive armor. Cole punched the guard hard, knocking him flying. The Lion King indoor. My lord, something bad has happened. A guard ran in panic. What happened? Someone came to kill me. What? Whoever is so bold, I will sentence his entire family to death, Arya's father roared. My lord, please run away, we can't stop you any longer. Nangong Long, who happened to walk into the room at this time, said in a low voice, I heard you wanted to kill my whole family, is that right? Who? When he saw who was coming, he was completely panicked. My lord, how could it be you? Oh, you know me, but I won't remember a minor character like you. Ever since Nangong Long saved the rebellious assassination team without receiving any punishment, his name and appearance have been firmly remembered by the nobles of the imperial capital. Let me go, what are you going to do? Arya struggled. My husband will give you whatever you want, just let us go. Leon and Cole ignored them and walked into the house and threw the two people to the ground. We got them. Thanks for your hard work. Why would you do such a thing? How have we offended you? Arya's father said in disbelief. You didn't offend me, I just wanted to kill someone. Long, everyone outside has been cleaned up, only they are left, Tang Lu said with a grim smile. Although Xiang Lu has changed a lot, she still smiles unconsciously when she is enforcing justice. Nangong Long did not remind her on purpose. As long as she does not enforce distorted justice, she can do whatever she wants. Well, you did a good job, said Nangong Long, stroking Salo's hair. Just for that reason, you're going to kill my whole family. Father Ai was so emotional that he didn't even use honorifics. I thought you could understand, Nangong Long said casually, spreading his hands. How can you possibly understand something like this? Ai's father yelled. Don't you often kill others and enjoy it? I am just doing the same thing as you. How can those country folk be compared with us? They are just playthings, Arya roared. Is that so? Then you are my playthings. My father is an earl, who do you think you are? Arya said frantically. Shut up. Father Ai yelled. Count? Just a piece of trash, Nangong Long said disdainfully. I beg the Duke to let us go. I am willing to pay any price, said Father Ai. Duke, Arya said in horror. Oh, anything is fine. Nangong Long said with interest. Father Ai seemed to have grasped the last straw and nodded and said, if I can do it, I can do anything. Nangong Long pointed at Arya and the other person and said, what if I said I wanted them? This. Father Ai hesitated. Father, please agree. It's okay with me, Arya said. Arya felt that if she could really gain Nangong Long's favor, she would be able to do whatever she wanted, and she wouldn't care about anything else. Husband. Arya's mother hesitated to speak. Okay, Father Ai agreed with gritted teeth. Hey, you are not serious, are you? There is fire in Saryu's eyes. Leon came close to Nangong Long and whispered in his ear. You think too much, sorry, it was just a joke. It's a good feeling to have a glimmer of hope and yet face despair, Nangong Long said insincerely. Hearing Nangong Long say this, Sai Liu's horrified expression disappeared, replaced by a gentle smile, and the other girls also breathed a sigh of relief. Nangong Long had no interest in listening to their curses, and simply cast a spell to make them faint. What are you going to do with them? Asked Sailu. Give it to Mela, and let the bugs eat it slowly from the inside out. How cruel, Leon said, patting his chest and pretending to be scared. Chapter 31. Arya's home. Don't be anxious, eat slowly, there is still a lot, Arya said softly. Ah yes, who was deceived by Arya's disguise, said gratefully, you are such a good person. I am so lucky to meet you in the imperial capital. It's nothing. I'm happy to help people in need, Arya said shyly. Why did you come to the imperial city? Asked Arya's father. Of course it's to make a name for myself and do something great, Iaz said loudly. Don't be so rude, Shehu scolded. Actually, life in our hometown is very poor, so we plan to come to the capital to find a job to subsidize the village, Shehu explained. That's a good idea. Is there anything you guys want to do? I have some connections. No, no thanks. How can I trouble you so much? Shehu said embarrassedly. It's okay. Doing good deeds is our family tradition. Thank you so much, Shehu stood up and bowed to express her gratitude. What's wrong with you? Shehu shouted when she saw Iaz suddenly fainted. Why do I feel a little dizzy? After saying that, Shehu also fell down. It's finally working. I don't have to act anymore. I can't wait to ravage her. She's a country girl but she has such beautiful long hair, Arya said twistedly. Don't be impatient, there's plenty of time for you to play slowly, said Arya's mother. Come on, lock them up, Arya's father ordered the guards. Let's play with them when they wake up. Their screams and struggles are the best music for me. Yes, father. Outside the gate. Who are you? Stop immediately, or you will be killed as invaders, the guard at the gate shouted. Long, is this okay? Salo asked. Of course, those who aid and abet the evil are equally guilty. Then I feel relieved, Ziobi, do justice. Giant with 100 arms roar. What is that, a monster? Click, click. Seeing Ziobi swallow his companion whole and bite him to pieces, another guard was so scared that he turned around and wanted to run into the mansion to call for reinforcements, but before he could take a step, he was killed by Miozi. It's a dark and windy night, perfect weather for murder. Who cares about the weather when it comes to killing people? Leon complained. I'm just doing this for the occasion, Nangong Long shrugged indifferently. The beast's prison. What did you do? Cole asked. As a precaution to prevent anyone from escaping. From now on, people can only enter this mansion but not leave, Nangong Long replied. Brother Duke, do you want to leave any of them alive? Remus asked. Except the main culprit, all the others were killed. Why? Chelsea asked. It would be too easy for them to be killed so easily. You and Cosmia should just stay close to me. After all, you are not good at close combat, Nangong Long warned. Of the killing run, there's a monster. Click, click. Ridge crossing heavy explosive armor. Cole punched the guard hard, knocking him flying. The Lion King indoor. My lord, something bad has happened. A guard ran in panic. What happened? Someone came to kill me. What? Whoever is so bold, I will sentence his entire family to death, Arya's father roared. My lord, please run away, we can't stop you any longer. Nangong Long, who happened to walk into the room at this time, said in a low voice, I heard you wanted to kill my whole family, is that right? Who? When he saw who was coming, he was completely panicked. My lord, how could it be you? Oh, you know me, but I won't remember a minor character like you. Ever since Nangong Long saved the rebellious assassination team without receiving any punishment, his name and appearance have been firmly remembered by the nobles of the imperial capital. Let me go, what are you going to do? Arya struggled. My husband will give you whatever you want, just let us go. Leon and Cole ignored them and walked into the house and threw the two people to the ground. We got them. Thanks for your hard work. Why would you do such a thing? How have we offended you? Arya's father said in disbelief. You didn't offend me, I just wanted to kill someone. Long, everyone outside has been cleaned up, only they are left, Tang Lu said with a grim smile. Although Xiang Lu has changed a lot, she still smiles unconsciously when she is enforcing justice. Nangong Long did not remind her on purpose. As long as she does not enforce distorted justice, she can do whatever she wants. Well, you did a good job, said Nangong Long, stroking Salo's hair. Just for that reason, you're going to kill my whole family. Father Ai was so emotional that he didn't even use honorifics. I thought you could understand, Nangong Long said casually, spreading his hands. How can you possibly understand something like this? Ai's father yelled. Don't you often kill others and enjoy it? I am just doing the same thing as you. How can those country folk be compared with us? They are just playthings, Arya roared. Is that so? Then you are my playthings. My father is an earl, who do you think you are? Arya said frantically. Shut up. Father Ai yelled. Count? Just a piece of trash, Nangong Long said disdainfully. I beg the Duke to let us go. I am willing to pay any price, said Father Ai. Duke, Arya said in horror. Oh, anything is fine. Nangong Long said with interest. Father Ai seemed to have grasped the last straw and nodded and said, if I can do it, I can do anything. Nangong Long pointed at Arya and the other person and said, what if I said I wanted them? This. Father Ai hesitated. Father, please agree. It's okay with me, Arya said. Arya felt that if she could really gain Nangong Long's favor, she would be able to do whatever she wanted, and she wouldn't care about anything else. Husband. Arya's mother hesitated to speak. Okay, Father Ai agreed with gritted teeth. Hey, you are not serious, are you? There is fire in Saryu's eyes. Leon came close to Nangong Long and whispered in his ear. You think too much. Sorry, it was just a joke. It's a good feeling to have a glimmer of hope and yet face despair, Nangong Long said insincerely. Hearing Nangong Long say this, Sai Liu's horrified expression disappeared, replaced by a gentle smile, and the other girls also breathed a sigh of relief. Nangong Long had no interest in listening to their curses, and simply cast a spell to make them faint. What are you going to do with them? Asked Selu. Give it to Mela, and let the bugs eat it slowly from the inside out. How cruel, Leon said, patting his chest and pretending to be scared. Chapter 33. At this time, Akame and Bonnie, who had completed the mission of assassinating Jamal, were rushing back to the base. They are from the patrol team, let's avoid them, said Akame. Captain, there are two people over there who look very suspicious, Tatsumi said, pointing at the two people in the distance. Let's go and take a look, Xiang Lu ordered. They are chasing us, what should we do? Bonnie asked. It seems we can only find a deserted place to bury them, Chi Tong replied. Stop right there, person in front, Tatsumi shouted while running. Seeing that there were no one around, Chi Tong and the other man stopped and decided to deal with each other here. Tatsumi just shouted tentatively, but he didn't expect the other party to really stop. When the two groups approached, Bonnie shouted in surprise, It's you, Sister Sai Lu, be careful, he is on the wanted list, Shea reminded. It's okay, I know them. Upon hearing this, Sao and Tatsumi widened their eyes in surprise. They couldn't understand why the captain of the security force would know the wanted criminal. Why are you here? Asked Selu. I received the mission, Chi Tong replied. You guys better be careful the next 24 hours. The people above are already paying attention to you. Thanks for the reminder, said Akame. Long really hopes that you can come to his side, I hope you will not let him down. We understand. After saying that, Guo Lu turned around and took Tatsumi and the others away. Let's go back to, Bonnie. Captain, why don't you catch them? Tatsumi asked puzzledly. They're just doing the same thing as us. The same thing. Shea muttered to herself thoughtfully. Go back and check who they killed, and you will understand. Yes, Captain. 3 days later, Night Raid received a new mission, to assassinate the minister's distant relative Ioker. On the mountain there's no problem shooting at this distance, said Mine. Just leave the escort mission to me, there will be absolutely no problem, Bonnie assured, patting his chest. But is this distance really okay? Seeing someone coming out, Main instantly concentrated her mind and shot and killed the target in the dense crowd. I'm a shooting genius, Marin said proudly. After completing the task, the two rushed to the agreed meeting place. This is it. Careful, Bonnie kicked away the guard who attacked Main. This kid is very strong, it seems we have to take him seriously, thought the guard who followed him. Main, go to the back and leave him to me. Good Main knew her own weakness, so she retreated decisively, looking for an opportunity to kill her opponent with one shot. The guard certainly understood Marin's intention, but he also knew that it would be impossible to hurt the shooter behind her without killing the kid in front of him. Therefore, he decided to go all out and end the battle quickly. Go to hell, kid! Bonnie raised his leg to block the opponent's whip kick, and at the same time, he activated his skill at the moment when the two made contact. Thunderstorm! I saw a strong lightning flashing from Bonnie's calf, which instantly flowed through his whole body. Before he could understand what was happening, he was already charred to death by the electric shock. Bonnie, you have this ability. Main said in surprise. It's not my ability, it's its ability, Bonnie said, pointing at the small leg guards. What is that? An imperial weapon? Marin asked curiously. No, this was given to me by Long, Bonnie said, shaking his head. What? It's that annoying guy. Marin said with a frown. Dragons are not annoying, Bonnie shouted angrily. No, he's just a perverted BD, Mine retorted. The other side, Akame and his group blocked the pursuing guards. Although the guards were all masters from the Royal Fist Temple, they were still far inferior to the Night Raid group. One person is missing, said Akito. Isn't he going to Main's place? Tsukushi said. Let's go over there quickly, said Hill. The people who had just arrived were relieved when they saw the two people arguing there. But how did he die? He was all burnt, Bran said when he saw the blackened corpse nearby. It's so tragic, I sympathize deeply. Lubbock did not act as he said, instead he looked gloating. Seeing that everyone had arrived, Bonnie and the other man stopped arguing and came over. Bonnie, how did you do this? Tsukushi asked curiously. This is also the first time I used the equipment Long gave me. I thought it would only paralyze the opponent, but I didn't expect it to electrocute him to death in one go, Bonnie explained. Duke's palace. Someone went to the security department to report that the minister's relative had been killed, so Shehu didn't care about anything else and went directly to Nangong Long's house to report the matter to Selu. Sister Seliu, what should we do? Seliu did not answer, but looked at Nangong Long on the side. She certainly wanted to confiscate the property directly, but she was afraid of causing trouble for Nangong Long. After all, he was a relative of the minister, and who knew whether the minister would stand up for him. You can do whatever you want. Don't worry about me. Besides, I have already had a falling out with the minister in the palace today. What happened? I saved the man the minister wanted to kill, the interior minister, Shower. I understand 600 Shehu notifies the troops to gather and search the house. Yes, Sister Siriu. Xianglu did not ask Nangong Long why he did that, because in her heart, no matter what Nangong did, it was always right. The next day, there was naturally some debate, but in the end it all came to nothing. Night Raid. The spy reported that the court is now divided into 3 factions. They are the corrupt faction of the ministers, the conscientious faction protected by Bud, and the radical faction headed by Nangong Long. Among them, Nangong Long's faction has the strongest cohesion. To them, Nangong Long's orders are absolute and even more important than the emperor's. But there's nothing we can do about it. After all, it was Nangong Long who rescued them when they were in the most critical moment, Naja sighed. What Nangong Long said before has been confirmed, so make a decision, should you join Nangong Long's team or continue working for the Revolutionary Army? Naja asked. Upon hearing this, Bonnie and the other two immediately expressed their willingness to join Nangong Long. I followed the boss, Hill said. Me too, said the other 3. Then from today on, I will officially join Nangong Long's side, Naja announced. Yeah, that's great. Bonnie shouted happily. Tsukushi and Akame also smiled. Chapter 34. Sister Sailu, this is a report on the recent serial murder case. Seletu took out a map and spread it on the table, circling the places where the bodies were found one by one, hoping to find out where Zank was active. But unfortunately, Zank's killings had no pattern at all. He just killed for the sake of killing, without any specific target. It seems that we have no choice but to ask Leon and the others for help at night. Why did you come along? Leon asked. I am somewhat interested in Zhang's imperial weapon. Oh, there aren't many things that interest you. Do you have any strange abilities? Leon asked curiously. At this time, Nangong Long received a message from Shadow Demon. I found Zhang. You stay here and wait for me. I will kill him. I'll go with you. No, Nangong Long refused. Oh, okay then, Leon said a little depressed. I'll tell you why later. Nangong Long rushed to where Zhang was at full speed. Finally I met someone, so happy, Zhang laughed. It's painful, let me help you. Stop talking big. Zhang could no longer control his desire to kill, and rushed towards Nangong Long waving his arm knife. Nangong Long stood there motionless, as if he didn't see the opponent's attack. Inside, Zhang activated his imperial weapon to see what his opponent was planning, but he saw nothing. I have entered the state of no self, but it is useless. Future vision. Unfortunately, the result still did not change. He did not see any predicted counterattack. This was the first time that such a thing happened after he obtained the 5 visions omnipotence. Ten was somewhat surprised and doubtful. So he forced himself to stop and step back. Perspective. It can be seen that it is not a problem with the imperial weapon. Could it be that he has no intention of counterattacking at all? Never mind, just attack first, Zhang thought. Zhang rushed towards Nangong Long again, and when he got close, he swung his arm knife and slashed at Nangong Long's neck. Boy, no matter what tricks you have, I'll chop off your head and you'll die, Zhan said with a twisted smile. Zhang's arm blade hit the target firmly, but the imagined blood splatter did not happen. Instead, Zhang's arm blade broke with a sound. What? Zhang was shocked. He never thought this would be the result. What a joke, how can a person's neck be so stiff? Zhang shouted in disbelief. Nangong Long ignored him and stretched out his right hand to cast instant death magic on Zhang. Dead air erosion. A dark breath instantly emanated from Nangong Long's right hand and rushed into Zhang's body, madly destroying his vitality. Rest in peace, the sound disappeared. Happy, happy. Thank you, unknown little devil. Zhang fell to the ground and passed away with a smile on his face. Death energy corrodes the 8th level magic, and those who are hit will be corroded and die in a very short time. Duke's Palace. Nangong Long put the 5 visions universal gear he had taken back from Zhang on his forehead, looked at all the girls in the room one by one, and sighed with satisfaction. It's a really good ability, but the appearance is a bit bad. Thank you for the hospitality, Nangong Long thanked the girls after feasting his eyes. Looking at Nangong Long's strange behavior, Salo asked in confusion, Long, why do you suddenly say that? Nangong Long took the imperial weapon in his hand and explained, the 5 visions of the Emperor have the ability to see through, see far, see into the future, and see hallucinations. Of course, these are not important. What I am interested in is the last ability, perspective. Leon, now you know why I didn't let you go with me. Oh? So you're afraid that I'll suffer a loss? Why didn't you just say it earlier? Leon said with a smile. If I had told you earlier, you would have told others. How can I watch with peace of mind if you are on guard? So you've seen us naked just now, Sai Lu said gloomily. I was wondering why you were staring at us so seriously just now. Cole said with his fists clenched. Does it look good? Asked Mayoko with a grin. To be honest, they each have their merits, and both are good, Nangong Long expressed his thoughts in a suicidal manner. Hei Tong's face turned slightly red and he didn't say anything. Sisters beat him up. Chelsea's words were like a fuse. All the girls rushed forward, pinned Nangong Long under them and beat him up, but no one really used much force. Nangong Long took advantage of the chaos to grab things here and there. It would be easy for Nangong Long to run, but he really enjoyed the joyful atmosphere of everyone being together and making noise. The next morning Xiang Lu was going to eliminate the underground drug trafficking organization and the corrupt official Kibble who protected them today. When he was about to go out, he asked, Is there anyone who wants to join me in enforcing justice? I'll go. I haven't exercised for a long time, Leon replied. What's the trouble? Cole asked. No, just a bunch of trash. Forget it, when you have trouble, call me again. Good. After Leona and Sirio arrived at the security department, Jean-Lu immediately ordered the troops to assemble. After everything was ready, Sirio looked at Leon and said, We have 2 targets, one is Flower Street and the other is Kibble's mansion. Which one do you want to go to? I'm going to Flower Street. Okay, then I will go and siege Kibble. Set off. Yes, Captain, the guards responded loudly. Entertainment District. Big sister, what should we do? Asked Tatsumi. Leon often hangs out in the security department, so Tatsumi also knows her. You lead your men to spread out and quietly surround this store to prevent anyone from escaping. What about you, big sister? Of course I sneaked in and killed as many people as possible. Okay, get ready. Yes, Leon suddenly broke into the house and interrupted the villain's conversation. Who are you? The one who sends you on your way. You are so shameless, someone come and kill her. As soon as he finished speaking, more than a dozen big men in black rushed into the room and surrounded Leonadiao. No matter how much garbage comes, it's useless, Leon said disdainfully. The crime of collusion is aggravated. Leon punched the enemies that rushed towards him to death one by one. Finally, he walked up to the gang leader and broke his neck without giving him a chance to beg for mercy. At this time, Tatsumi walked in. Big sister, everything outside has been dealt with. That's right, let's search this place and then we'll call it a day. Clear. Chapter 35. The other side. Salo has led his men to surround Zibol's mansion. Captain Sirihu, what do you mean by this? Zibol frowned. There is solid evidence that Zibol is corrupt and oppressing the people. He will be convicted now and executed immediately, Salo said with a grim smile. No, you have no right to do this. I am the minister's man and you can't kill me, Kibble shouted in horror. Don't worry, he will be down with you soon. All soldiers, listen to my order, anyone who resists will be killed without mercy. Yes, the soldiers shouted with high spirits. They had an almost blind worship for Silu. They were proud of the fact that no matter whether they were nobles or officials, Silu would not let them go as long as their crimes were true. Ziobi, prey under Saletu's attack, Zibol's attempts to stop the counterattack were meaningless and he was quickly defeated. Night raid. There are so few missions lately. Mine was lying on the table, bored, watching Akaji making the model. Well, Xianglu has been working very hard recently, Chi Tong replied. It's not a matter of hard work, it's just crazy. They rob our houses every day, even more ruthless than us, Ma Yin complained. Isn't this good? Isn't our goal to eradicate evil? Chikushi said. But is it really okay to do this? I heard that many nobles have united to impeach her, Marin said worriedly. It's okay, we still have the dragon, said Tsukushi with a smile. What's so good about that guy? You all trust him so much. Marin didn't quite understand. You'll understand it after you get more exposure, Chi Tong interrupted. I think he's a good guy, Hill said. Hill, when did you get deceived by him? Main shouted. Cheat? What do you mean? Nangong Long has come here occasionally recently, so his relationship with Hill has improved a lot. Imperial capital. Luna and others in the carriage are about to arrive at the imperial capital they long for. We're finally here, Luna, what kind of person do you think the master will be? Air said. Maybe he's a lecherous old man. If that's the case, let's kill him and run away, Far said with a smile. As soon as they got off the carriage, the three of them saw a blonde young man smiling and greeting them. See, hello, from today on I am your master, my name is Buck. Come, this way. Buck took Luna and the other two to the largest commercial street in the imperial capital. They had never seen such a prosperous city before and were immediately excited. Hey, this is the imperial capital, Air said with emotion. Our village only has a hotel and a prop shop, nothing else, said Far. Why don't you take this opportunity to have a good look around and pick out some clothes you like? I'll pay for them, Buck said gently. Really, is it really possible? Air asked excitedly. Of course, as my servant, you can't dress too rustically, Buck explained. Then the three of them ran excitedly to choose clothes. After all, they were sold by their parents because their families were poor, so they rarely had such opportunities. After the three of them bought the clothes they liked, Buck took them to the restaurant. $77. Fair, please pay attention to your image, Luna reminded. As long as you like it, Buck said with a smile. Thank you, Air said gratefully. Well, let's get started, Buck said with a smile, squinting his eyes. A group of vicious men in black appeared behind Buck, and three of them stepped forward and controlled Air and the others. Air was still a little dazed, totally confused as to how things could have suddenly become like this, as they were fine just now. It was Fair who reacted first and kicked the man in black behind him, but it had no effect at all. What's going on? Fa was shocked. Country boxing? That's useless to me. The big man in black punched Fa in the abdomen, making her unable to fight back. Fair Air cried out. It was Ska who picked this girl. Yes, it's fun to torture such a lively girl. Understood. Then break her legs first, Buck ordered with a smile. The man in black broke Fair's legs in one go. Grandpa! The piercing pain made Fair cry out in pain. This cry is so sweet to the ear. Why do you do this? Air yelled. Why? Of course ordinary entertainment can no longer satisfy these mentally perverted rich people, Buck replied. Haha, without us, where would you make money? I know, so which one do you want? Buck asked. That's her. She has very beautiful eyes and it must be very comfortable to lick them, the fat man behind Buck pointed at Luna. I heard you. Let's do it, Buck said to his men. No. No, Luna shouted with tears. Just when Luna's eyes were about to be dug out, black shadows crawled all over the bodies of everyone except Air and the other two, and they were restrained and unable to move. What's going on? What the hell is this? Scar said in horror. Buck, did you do this? How is that possible? I have it too, Buck retorted. Although I don't know what happened, Luna thought thankfully that her eyes were saved. I was in a good mood, but you bastards ruined it all. Nangong Long, who had just come out of the palace, originally planned to go to the commercial street to buy some gifts to take back to the girls at home, but he didn't expect to see the scene as soon as he arrived. Kid, no matter who you are, let us go quickly, otherwise you will die a miserable death, Scar threatened. Pull out your tongue. Hearing Nangong Long's order, the black shadow on Scar's body began to twist and deform, and a dark hand stretched out and inserted directly into his mouth, pulling out a bloody tongue. DS. Seeing Scar's miserable appearance, Buck and others immediately wanted to swallow back what they were saying and keep silent. I'm not restraining you two, why are you still standing there? Nangong Long said to Air and the other boy, then walked towards Fashuan who was lying on the ground. The turn happened so quickly that the two were confused and forgot to break free. Nangong Long held Fair in his arms, took out the healing potion, put it to her lips and said gently, drink it and you will be cured immediately. What are you going to do? Air said nervously, looking at the blood-red potion. Luna pulled the corner of her son's clothes and shook her head. Fair endured the pain and drank the potion. Then something unexpected happened. The pain disappeared quickly and she felt completely healed. Chapter 36. Fair stood up from Nangong Long's arms shyly, as if what had just happened was an illusion. Fair, you're okay, Air shouted in surprise. How magical! Luna said. Thank you very much, Air and the other two bowed in gratitude. We'll talk about your business later. Now I need to clean up the garbage. Then Nangong Long walked to the sofa opposite Buck and sat down, while Air and the other two stood behind him. Who broke your leg? It was him, but he gave the order. Far first pointed at the man in black who had caught her before, and then at Buck. Well, break all 5 limbs, Nangong Long pointed at the man in black and said. No, no, I beg for mercy, please let me go, ah. Before he could finish, the demon possessed by him had already perfectly executed Nangong Long's orders. The bound man suddenly felt a chill rising from the solace of his feet all the way to the top of his head. Wait a minute, it was Scar, it was his request that made me give the order, it has nothing to do with me, Buck defended himself while holding back his fear, he didn't want to become a human stick. Then let's deal with him first. Seeing Nangong Long shift his attention to Scar, Buck breathed a sigh of relief, at least everything was fine for the time being. You heard what he said. Since you like to torture others so much, why don't we play a more interesting game? I don't think you will object. DS. Without a tongue, Scar could only shake his head desperately, and was so scared that tears and snot came out. Look how happy you are. Don't be in a hurry to start right away, Nangong Long said with a smile. But to Buck and the others, this smile looked like that of a demon. Go and drag Lord Scar over there and torture him. Cut off a piece and feed it to him alone. I am a very frugal person and I cannot waste anything, Nangong said, pointing to the corner. Nangong Long's words made everyone present feel cold all over, it was really cruel. In the past 2 blocks, it is better not to let children see such bloody scenes. As soon as he finished speaking, Two black shadows emerged from Nangong Long's shadow and followed him to the corner, forming a barrier to cover the corner. Ai and the other two were amazed, but they did not ask any questions. After all, this was someone else's ability, and they probably wouldn't want outsiders to know about it. Scar's scream came out immediately, but it sounded a little weird because he had no tongue. Who wants to dig out your eyes again? Nangong Long looked at Luna and asked. Before Luna could speak, Buck spoke first. That's the fat guy. Yeah, Luna nodded. In that case, how about we play a game? No, no play. As long as you let me go, I will give you whatever you want, the fat man said hurriedly. Really? Nangong Long looked at him teasingly. Really, really, the fat man said hurriedly, as if he saw a glimmer of hope. Seeing that Nangong Long seemed to be about to let the other party go, Luna and the other two could only worry. As for speaking out to stop him, they didn't dare to do so. However, Nanlong's next words made them feel at ease. Then let's play a game, it has to be you. Pull him over there and dig out his eyes. Remember to dig slowly, don't dig them out all at once. It won't be fun if you dig them out too quickly. What is she using it for? Nangong Long asked, pointing at his beloved son. Nothing, nothing to do, the man with the clown nose said hurriedly. To be honest, who knows what kind of horrible game the other party is going to play next? Do you think I'm stupid? You tell me, maybe I can consider letting you go, Nangong Long said to Buck. Okay, sir, I'll tell you everything, Buck said excitedly. Buck, shut up, the clown man yelled in horror. I'm sorry, I don't want to die yet. Buck glanced at the clown, then turned back to Nangong Long and said, he bought this girl to be his son's wife. His son is in heat recently. Hearing Buck's words, Air's face changed drastically. He was actually used in this way. What a pervert. Yes, you are right, Buck agreed quickly. Wait a minute, I know I was wrong, please let me go. Yes, by the way, I also know Lord Rick, if you kill me he will definitely not let you go. The clown knew that if he didn't say something, he would be finished. Riku. Seeing Nangong Long in deep thought, he thought the other party was afraid, so he quickly continued, please give me flowers. Yes, it's Lord Rick. He is the Viscount of the Empire. I have a very good relationship with him. When they heard what the clown said, Air and the other two became worried. They naturally wanted to take revenge, but they didn't want to cause trouble for their savior. Well, let's forget about it, Air said. Nangong Long waved his hand, signaling her not to speak for the time being. I was wondering why I didn't have any impression of it at all. I was thinking I could kill it later if it was someone I knew, but it turned out to be just a small fish. Today, even if the minister comes in person, let alone the Viscount, you will die. There is no one in this empire that I, Nangong Long, dare not kill. Air and the other two didn't know who Nangong Long was, but Buck and the others completely understood who the person in front of them was. Only he had the qualifications to ignore the minister. You are Duke Nangong Long, the clown man shouted. Now even the small fry know me. Of course, who doesn't know your name now? You are the only one in the empire who can compete with the minister, Buck complimented. He is actually a duke, he is too young, Air and the other two thought in surprise. Nangong Long ignored Buck and looked at the clown man and said, since you love your son so much, use your body to satisfy him. No, let me go. The shadow demon ignored his pleas for mercy and dragged him to the corner and put him together with his beloved dog. Of course, such a scene that was not suitable for children had to be blocked. Dog, what are you doing? Don't come over here, I'm your father, don't, ah. Hearing this miserable cry, Buck and others were all terrified. Even Air and the other two couldn't help but shudder, but they felt more relieved. If Nangong Long hadn't appeared in time, they would have certainly met with a miserable end. As for you guys, I'm too lazy to play games one by one. Let's slice them all. Didn't you say let me go? Buck shouted in horror. Sorry, I said maybe. After dealing with this bunch of scum, Nangong Long went to the commercial street again to pick out some gifts, but this time there were 3 little tails following him. Chapter 37. How long do you plan to follow me? Nangong Long said, turning around. Well, we have nowhere to go, Air said embarrassedly. You guys want to follow me? Yes, Air and the other two nodded quickly. Aren't you afraid that I'm actually a bad person? Don't be afraid, didn't you just save us? Luna shook her head. If you really are, then we will accept it, said Fowl. The imperial capital is so scary. We dare not stay too far away from you, Air said fearfully. In that case, from now on you will be my maids, Nangong Long said with a smile. Yes, master, Air and the other two said happily. I plan to buy some gifts to take home, you can also pick out some things you like. Air and the other two immediately looked strange. What's wrong? Is there any problem? Nangong Long asked 540. The guy asked us to choose the clothes we liked before, Far replied. Are you afraid that I'll be like him? No, it just feels a little weird, Luna replied. Go shopping and try not to think about those things. Considering Fair and the other three, Nangong Long planned to go to the clothing store first, and then go to the dessert shop to buy some desserts to take back. Master, are all people in the imperial capital like that? Air couldn't help but ask. Most of the powerful and wealthy are like this. There are not many people in the imperial capital who still stick to their conscience. Why would you do that? Luna asked in disbelief. The long-term corrupt and decadent life has made ordinary entertainment unable to satisfy them, so they will look for more exciting things to do, such as killing their own kind. This is too much. Is there no one punishing them? Far said angrily. The people at the top of the national power are rotten to the core, who is going to take care of them? How could this happen? Air said dejectedly. Now I understand that the imperial capital is not as beautiful as you imagined. You don't have to be so disappointed. The situation is getting better now. Captain Salo of the Imperial Capital Guard is cleaning out termites like the ones just now. However, the darkness of the Imperial Capital did not come about overnight. It cannot be completely eliminated in a short period of time. What kind of person is she? Far asked. A stubborn girl who sticks to the justice in her heart, Nangong Long said with a smile. We're here, let's go in and pick out some clothes, Nangong Long said as he looked at the shop in front of him. As soon as Nangong Long came in, the shop owner couldn't help but sigh, it's no wonder that the Duke always brings a different girl with him every time. The dazzling array of clothes in front of them made Air and the other two temporarily forget the unpleasantness just now, and they devoted themselves wholeheartedly to the enthusiasm of choosing clothes. Nangong Long was also choosing, but he was choosing a maid outfit. Air, which one do you think I should have? Fair asked, holding two pieces of clothing in her hands. This one, but I want this one too, Fair said with a conflicted look on her face as she looked at another piece of clothing. If you like them, just buy them all, Nangong Long said as he looked at the two people who were still discussing. Is it possible? Fair asked with surprise. Well, the same goes for you too. If you like them, just buy a few more, Nangong Long nodded. Thanks. Seeing that the three had almost finished their shopping, Nangong Long handed them the maid outfits he had chosen. Try it on, it should fit you well. Air and the other two were a little surprised. They thought Nangong Long would have maid outfits at home, but they didn't expect that they had to buy them out of the box. Otherwise, they would have chosen them themselves. But on second thought, it seems better to let Nangong Long choose, after all, they are going to wear them for their master to see. Air and the other two took the maid outfits and walked into the changing room. Soon 3 cute little maids appeared. So cute, not bad, it turns out that cute maids are what men pursue, Nangong Long said with a smile. Hearing the master's praise, Air and the other two blushed slightly. Okay, change your clothes and let's go. No need, I'll just wear it, Far spoke first. Me too, Air said shyly. It is our responsibility as maids to please our master, Luna said with a blushing face. Apparently they also noticed that Nangong Long seemed to like them wearing maid outfits. After leaving the clothing store, Nangong Long led them to their original destination, the dessert shop. So, who are the people in that master's family? Is there anything we need to pay special attention to? Air asked. Yes, it would be bad if we made mistakes due to lack of understanding, Na agreed. Don't worry, my family is very nice and won't make things difficult for you. Hearing this, Air and the other two breathed a sigh of relief. Duke's Palace. Air and the other two were shocked when they came to the Duke's mansion for the first time. It was really so extravagant. They had never seen many of the things there before. Cosmia, who was sitting in the courtyard, looked at the trio behind Nangong Long and asked, who are they? Oh, they will be the maids of the Duke's mansion in the future. Are you alone at home? Nangong Long asked. No, Chelsea is here too. The others have gone to help Siriu, leaving the two of us at home waiting for you. Is that so? Let's go back to the house and talk about the three of them. Seeing Nangong Long coming back with three girls, Chelsea, who was sitting in the living room, said unhappily, I was wondering why you came back so late. Turns out you went out to pick up girls. Seeing that the other party seemed to have misunderstood something, Aier hurriedly said, no, it's not what you think. In fact, the master saved us from the evil people. Save? And call you master? What's going on? Chelsea asked. Here's what happened. After I came out of the palace today. After listening to Nangong Long's story, Chelsea and Cosmia were extremely angry. Well done. No matter how cruel you are to such a scumbag, it's never too much, Chelsea said fiercely. I never thought that despite Zaletu's crazy actions, there are still people committing crimes against the wind, said Cosmia. It's not easy to eradicate the darkness in the imperial capital, said Nangong Long. Now there are three lovely maids named 1 and 2. Isn't your master particularly happy? Chelsea suddenly changed the subject and said to Nangong Long, for really, master? Chelsea called in a coquettish voice. Long, if you like, I can do it too. Master, is it okay? Cosmia shouted at Nangong Long. It's a huge pressure, Far said quietly. Why? Aier didn't understand. Of course there are too many competitors, Luna replied in a low voice. Competition? Aier looked puzzled. Let's form a team, Far suggested. Okay, Luna nodded. Hey, let me join too, Aier said hurriedly. Although she didn't quite understand, she joined first. Chapter 38. Esteth, who has returned to the imperial capital, is on her way to Nangong Long's home. Dragon, I'm back. Welcome home. Esteth walked straight to Nangong Long and sat in his arms. I miss you so much. I miss you as well. I'm staying here tonight. The minister intends for me to take action against the night raid, and you, it seems that you are very hated, said Esteth with a smile. There's nothing I can do. I've been against him recently, Nangong Long said casually while touching Esteth's hair. The minister knew that Esteth and Nangong Long had a good relationship, but he didn't know that they were already together. In the minister's mind, Esteth was a war maniac who liked chaos. Even if she had a good relationship with Nangong Long, she would not give up her hobbies for him. That's why the minister let Esteth deal with Nangong Long. What are you going to do? Do you want me to kill the minister? No, don't look at the minister's behavior. He has an imperial tool on his head, and his ability is to destroy other imperial tools. It's so well hidden, I didn't even know it, but you don't think I can't beat him like this, do you? How could that be? I fully trust your ability. I have my own plans. I'll take you to meet old friends. Who? Nat Shitten, everything is almost ready, it's time to get started. Really? The war is finally coming. I've been looking forward to it for a long time, Esteth said with an excited smile. Portal Nangong Long brought Esteth to the night raid base. Since Nich had been informed before, all the members of the night raid had already gathered in the meeting hall waiting for his arrival. Long time no see. I didn't expect that we would meet in this way, said Esteth. Yeah, I always thought we would be enemies when we met again, but I didn't expect we would become companions, Nich sighed. What do the Revolutionary Army say? Not long ago, Nangong Long asked Naja to return to the Revolutionary Army headquarters to test them to see how many of them were willing to be loyal to him and how many of them planned to resist. The Revolutionary Army didn't know that Naja had already defected to Nangong Long, and they just thought that Nangong Long wanted her to transfer him. As expected, few people were willing to do so. They also asked me to tell you that cooperation is possible but loyalty is impossible, Nich sighed. Hearing this, Nangong Long frowned and looked a little conflicted, but it only lasted for a short time before he relaxed. I didn't want to do this. Since you are unwilling to be loyal, just kill them all, Nangong Long said calmly. Yes, that's what we should do, Esteth agreed. Is there no room for maneuver? Nich sighed. The high-ranking officials must die. If the soldiers are willing to surrender, I can forgive them. That's all. Thank you on behalf of the soldiers. When does the Revolutionary Army plan to take action? Asked Nangong Long. They are contacting other rebel forces and officials in major cities to join forces and take over the imperial capital in one fell swoop. How long will it take? If everything goes well, it will take 2 months. Okay, I'll just wait for 2 months, and then I'll get everything together and finish it once and for all. Is it really okay? As far as I know, once the rebel forces join together, there will be millions of them, Nich said worriedly. A million? That's awesome, Asdeth said happily. The people who attacked at night felt inexplicably cold. What kind of personality would make someone say such a thing? Don't worry, I have more soldiers than you can count. Besides, a million-strong army is meaningless in front of me. Aren't you afraid that the wind will blow your tongue away? If a million people stood there and asked you to kill them, they would be exhausted to death, Ma Jun couldn't help but sneer. Dwarf, do you want to die? Asdeth released an extremely terrifying chill and murderous aura from her body. All members of the night raid tensed up in an instant, ready to counterattack immediately if Asdeth made a move. Nangong Long took Asdeth's hand and comforted her, there's no need to be angry, that's just her personality. Asdeth retracted her murderous intent and sat down in her seat. For your sake, I'll let it go this time. All members of the night raid breathed a sigh of relief. Asdeth gave them such a terrifying feeling. It was a good thing that they didn't have to fight. Main, stop talking nonsense, Nich warned. I understand, Marin replied with her head down. At this time, Lubbock, who was standing aside, frowned and said, Boss, someone triggered the alarm. How many people? There are a lot of them. It looks like we have been exposed. Are there any enemies? It's a good time to stretch your body, said Asdeth with a smile. Don't do it, you are just small characters. I will take this opportunity to let you see the combat experience of my servants. Servant? Long, is it the shadow demon? Asked Chi Tong. No, you'll know soon. Nangong Long used magic to notify the undead adjutant number 3 to transfer the troops and keep them on standby nearby, then he and everyone else left the room. Shi Shang received a commission from the minister, asking him to find the base of the night raiders and immediately send a large army to destroy them after discovering them. 113 After much effort, Shi Shang finally found some clues, but he did not report it to his superiors. Instead, he planned to attack alone and capture the people who made the night raid as his experimental materials. Oh, the Duke and General Asdeth are here too. What a surprise, Shi Shang said in surprise. You're very brave for not running away when you saw me, Asdeth said with a smile. Even you can't defeat so many of my masterpieces. Just rely on this bunch of trash, Asdeth said disdainfully. Do you think you have a lot of people? Today I will let you see what the Sea of the Dead is, Nangong Long said with an evil smile. Come out, my undead army 317-1071. Through the moonlight, one can clearly see that countless black shadows appear from all directions and surround them, with no end in sight. What the hell is this? Is it a new dangerous species? Shi Shang said in horror. There were simply too many of them, and their aura was evil. The people who attacked at night were stunned. They never thought that Nangong Long's servants would be like this. Greetings, Your Excellency, said Sage of the Rule of Death number 3 respectfully. Well, you completed your mission very well. This is what I should do. I have something to present to you, sir. May I present it to you? Number 3 asked. Chapter 39. Sage number 3 sent people to move an ominous throne made entirely of bones to Nangong Long. Please take a seat, sir. This is made from various super dangerous species that I collected. Unfortunately, there are no better materials. I hope you don't mind. The people who were on night raid were shocked enough when they saw number 3, and they couldn't help but be amazed when they heard him say that. He didn't even look down on super dangerous species. He really had high standards. What good taste. Asdeth smiled. I really don't understand why my subordinates are so keen on the bone throne, but since it is my subordinate's intention, I can't refuse it. This design really fits my extremely evil attribute. Thank you for the hard work, I am very satisfied. It is my honor. Nangong Long turned around and sat on the throne, then hooked his finger at Asdeth. After being together for so long, Asdeth naturally understood what he meant, and took the initiative to come to him and sit sideways in his arms. Tsukushi pouted in dissatisfaction, Bonnie also widened her eyes. Akame seemed to be unconcerned, but her eyes that occasionally glanced at Nangong Long betrayed her true thoughts. Come over and cooperate with us, Nangong Long said with a smile as he looked at the girls. What? Tsukushi asked unhappily, but still came to his side as he said, and the other girls did the same. I'm jealous, but don't worry, I won't abandon you, Nangong Long said with a smile. I didn't, Tsukushi retorted with a blushing face. Seeing Nangong Long asking the other girls to pose around the throne of bones, Asteth asked in confusion, what are you trying to do? Long, is this right? Hill interrupted. Yeah, very good. Hearing this, Hill smiled and said, there's something I can help with again. That's great. Hehe, I'm just creating a villain atmosphere. How about the effect? It's pretty good, right? Nangong Long replied with a smile. What an unexpected answer. As for Brand and Lubbock, they could only stand aside. Nangong Long felt that as a big devil, he should be surrounded by a bunch of girls, and it would be too inappropriate to let two men in. Nangong Long rested his right hand on the armrest of the throne with his chin, and held Asteth in his left hand. There were girls all around him, and for a moment he looked like a villain. I've left you guys alone for so long, let's get started. Yes, sir, Sage number 3 replied respectfully. Mr. Fashion, what should we do? Go ahead, don't be afraid, I'm right beside you. After hearing Shi Shang's words, the reformed soldiers rushed forward fearlessly as if they were injected with chicken blood. The situation was not good, but luckily these idiots just needed some encouragement and rushed forward desperately, looking for a chance to self-destruct, and then they took the opportunity to escape. Anyway, there were as many experimental subjects as they wanted. Although the transformed soldiers charged desperately, they were unable to shake the Death Knight in the slightest. Seeing this, Fashion shouted, spread the raid out, don't concentrate together Master Fashion, but we are doomed if we do this. I have my own way. How can I let my treasure die? Don't you believe me? No, of course we believe in Lord Fashion. The transformed soldiers looked at the god in their hearts with enthusiasm. Shi Shang just felt that the distance was too close, and if he self-destructed he would definitely hurt himself, otherwise he would not bother to say these things. What is this? They actually set fire, the modified soldier shouted. Compared to the life and death situation on the Fashion side, Nangong Long's side is much more relaxed. Long, please introduce other types of soldiers to me, said Asteth. 17 Brand and the others also pricked up their ears and listened carefully. They were also very curious, but felt that asking rashly might make Nangong Long unhappy. So they endured the pain and asked. Chi Tong and the others thought that Nangong Long would naturally say what he wanted to say, so they did not speak. What's more, what they were concerned about at the moment was not Nangong Long's servants, but Asteth, who was an absolute enemy to women. The one with sharp claws is the Ripper, and the one with screws all over his body is the Frankenstein. These two types of undead have high attack and weak defense, just the opposite of the Death Knight. The one in the back wearing a robe and shooting fireballs is the Archmage of the Dead. He has a high attack, but is slow and has poor defense. Nangong Long snapped his fingers, and several figures flew over from the sky. This is a bone dragon. I personally think it's more appropriate to add a pseudo-minister in front of it. Why? Bonnie asked curiously. After all, it's not made of real dragon bones, it's just a bunch of miscellaneous bones put together. Among these undead, the Death Knight is the most suitable for group combat. Why? Tsukushi asked. Ah, what's going on? When the transformed soldiers saw their dead companions crawling up again and attacking their own people, they were suddenly filled with fear. Seeing this situation, everyone in the night raid narrowed their eyes in surprise. This is why. The Death Knight can turn those he kills into follower zombies, and those killed by the followers will become followers of the next level. Do you understand what I mean? If we leave it alone, will it grow rapidly like a snowball? Nich said in fear. That's right, and a large number of undead gathered together will give birth to stronger undead. What a dangerous creature! Brand exclaimed. This is one of the inherent abilities of the Death Knight. Hey? I haven't seen him use any other abilities, Asteth asked puzzledly. Believe it or not, even if you attack with all your strength, you can't kill him in one go. Asteth responded quickly, is this another ability? Well, no matter how powerful the blow is, he will only be seriously injured but not killed immediately. To kill him, at least, needs 2 fatal wounds, so it is best to use it as a shield. What a perverted ability, Marin complained. At this moment, the body of the fighting transformed engineer suddenly swelled up and changed. What happened? Why is this happening? Fashionable adult. All the transformed soldiers in the battle exploded, and Shi Shang took the opportunity to inject the drug into his body and turned into a huge humanoid dangerous species. He swallowed the few survivors around him into his body and became even bigger, and rushed towards Nangong Long and others. There are no endless undead in the direction of Nangong Long, so Shi Shang chose this direction to make a breakthrough. Unfortunately, he thought too much. There were also undead legions behind Nangong Long, but it was dark and far away so he couldn't see them. You think you're not dying fast enough? Nangong Long said with a smile. Chapter 40. Do you want me to take action? No, your task now is to stay in my arms, Nangong Long said with a wicked smile. Everyone was speechless during the night attack. There is a time to show affection. If the other person looks strong, deal with him/her first and then show off. Chikushi and Bonnie gritted their teeth. Go to hell, Your Excellency, the Duke Fashion roared, transforming into a dangerous species gave him great confidence. Nangong Long pointed a finger at him. Hellfire! I saw a wisp of black and red flame floating towards Fashion. It's useless. What can such a small flame do to me? Shi Shang mocked the wind. Something unexpected happened. The flame that had just touched Fashion grew rapidly and in an instant engulfed the dangerous species that was the embodiment of Fashion. Fashion was burned to death before it could say any last words. Why bother showing off in front of me, Nangong Long thought. Take off his gloves, Nangong Long ordered a great wizard of the dead. Just now, Nangong Long controlled his power to prevent the imperial weapon from being destroyed. Now that the matter here has been resolved, I will go back first. These soldiers are left to you. Number 3467 will explain it to you in detail later, Nangong Long said to Naja. Good, see you next time then. Nangong Long said goodbye to Chi Tong and others. Portal 3 days later. Long, the minister asked me to kill the people of the Conscience faction, but I found an excuse to refuse. I think he might send someone else, said Esteth. That's right. He is not someone who gives up easily. Judging from the current situation, the most likely target he will send out is the 4 Rakshasa ghosts. What are you going to do? I have nothing to do anyway, so I might as well kill time by causing trouble for the minister. I'm not really interested in saving people, so I won't participate. There are quite a few undead creatures that have been created at the northern border, as well as some rare and dangerous species that have been captured. If you are interested, I can send you there to take a look. It's a pretty good way to kill time, Esteth said with a smile. Nangong Long sent Esteth to the northern border as instructed, but agreed to pick her up in the evening. Afterwards, Nangong Long went directly to the location where Esteth told him about the attack on the Conscience faction. Suburbs of the imperial capital. This village looks a lot stronger, Xiao Li said with some surprise. After all, he had seen too many dilapidated villages on the way to the imperial capital. Maybe it was done by other officials with conscience, Sibiya guessed. That would be best. A father who cares so much about the people is truly great. Now is not the time to play it safe. I will make sure that the minister who brought this disaster to the country receives the due judgment. Leave the task of protecting our father to me, Sibiya said confidently. I really have a good daughter, but she is too brave to marry her off. That has nothing to do with this matter, Sibiya retorted with a blushing face. I'm not brave at all, I'm just a little bit capable. If I find the right person, I can get married right away. Seeing his daughter suddenly depressed, Xiao Li said quickly, feel sorry. What's wrong? Sibiya said to herself when she saw the 4 people blocking the car. It's bandits again? No matter how bad the governance is, there must be a limit, Xiao Liren said. Sibiya got off the carriage and ordered, just like before, defeat them. Let me liberate your souls, Zhu Tian said lightly. Ordinary soldiers are no match for the 4 Rakshasa ghosts. Their strange body manipulation abilities are simply unstoppable. You are the 4 Rakshasas, Sibiya said in shock. As she had once studied spearmanship at the Royal Fist Temple, she had naturally heard rumors about the 4 Rakshasa ghosts, but this was the first time she had seen them in their true form. Little girl, judging from your marksmanship, you must be from the Royal Fist Temple, Zhu Tian said. Your shooting skills are great, what a pity, said Ji. Why would you do this? Sibiya asked. It's very simple. It's because your father offended the minister, Ling Lu replied. Hearing what the other party said, Sibiya's heart suddenly sank. She couldn't even defeat one of the 4 Rakshasa ghosts, let alone all 4 of them together. It's just you and your father left. I'm coming to liberate you. Zhu Tian instantly accelerated and came in front of Sibiya, intending to kill her with one blow. Sibiya had been injured in the previous fight, and she was completely unable to dodge this attack. Am I going to die? I haven't even gotten married yet. Sibiya closed her eyes in despair. Uncle, how about you give them some face and let them go? The voice in her ear made Sibiya open her eyes again. The scene before her eyes made her unable to believe her eyes. A boy who looked younger than her actually blocked the opponent's attack with one hand. Zhu Tian stepped back quickly, apparently recognizing the person. Does Duke Nangong have to intervene in this matter? Zhu Tian asked. Of course, making the minister unhappy is also one of my pleasures. Duke? So young, Sibiya was surprised. Go and see your father. Leave this to me. Thank you, please be careful, they are very strong, thanks for the reminder. Sibiya walked back to the carriage and helped her father down from it. It was pointless to face the 4 Rakshasa ghosts with the carriage, so it was better to get off directly. Long time no see, Ma Tiu, Nangong Long greeted. Have we met before? Ma Tiu asked doubtfully. When I attacked Oberg, weren't you and Ling Luo watching from outside? Don't say you forgot. Ah, so it was you who discovered it at that time, Ma Tiu said with sudden realization. Sibiya, who was standing behind Nangong Long, was asking her father about Nangong Long, but it was obvious that her father didn't know much. After all, he had been in seclusion for many years. Yesterday the internet exploded, so I just posted it. Chapter 41. If the Duke insists on intervening, we will have no choice but to offend him, said Zhu Tian. I have to say this is a good opportunity. I didn't notice there were other people around, Ji said with a smile. You don't know my strength. The minister has said that the Duke is an imperial weapon user, but so what? It's not like we haven't killed anyone before with the imperial weapon. Ji said. The ones controlling the imperial tools are just ordinary humans, so they must have weaknesses, Ma Tiu said to himself, clenching his fists. The 4 Rakshasa ghosts dispersed and attacked Nangong Long from different directions. Zhu Tian aimed at Nangong Long's head and swung a heavy punch, while Ji kicked Nangong Long in the waist. Suzuka attacked Nangong Long's lower body, and Ma Tiu used his control over his body to extend his nails and stab Nangong Long. Be careful! Sibiya shouted in horror. She didn't think anyone could survive the combined attack of the 4 Rakshasa ghosts. But the next scene overturned her entire worldview. Nangong Long did not choose to dodge but to fight hard. This doesn't feel right, Zhu Tian said in shock. It can't be pierced, Ma Tiu said in horror. This was not the first time she hit the target but couldn't even break the defense. After all, this is all you are capable of, Nangong Long said calmly. Quick, retreat, Ji shouted. But it was too late. Nangong Long raised his leg and kicked Zhu Tian in front of him away, then he did a roundhouse kick and kicked Ji away, and then stepped on Suzuka. The horse head escaped because it was farther away. Nangong Long's speed was so fast that the people present could not see clearly what happened. 2 of the 4 Rakshasa ghosts were seriously injured and 1 was captured. Sibiya looked at Nangong Long with stars in her eyes like a little fangirl. Ahem, the opponent's strength is unimaginable. The mission failed. We have to find a way to retreat, Zhu Tian said with difficulty after he barely stood up. Hee, go? But they have to be willing to let us go. Otherwise, how can we escape? We are completely doomed this time, Ji said with a wry smile. He's so strong without using any imperial weapon, said Ma Tiu. I didn't say I was going to kill you, don't be so nervous, Nangong Long shrugged. What's the reason? We are the minister's private executioners. You have no reason to let us go, Zhu Tian said. Would you consider working for me? Your position as minister is about to be over. You don't have to answer me immediately. Tell me your decision next time we meet, Nangong Long said with a smile. I see, thank you for your kindness, Duke. We will consider it, Zhu Tian said seriously. Then he turned around and left with his companions. Seeing the enemy leave, Sibi helped his father walk to Nangong Long. I am the former minister Jolly, and this is my daughter Sibia. Thank you, Your Excellency the Duke, for saving my life, Jolly said gratefully. Thank you, Sibia blushed. Seeing his daughter like this, how could Jiao Li not know what she was thinking? However, he couldn't help her in this matter, so he could only leave it to her on her own. I am the Duke of Nangong Long Empire, Minister Jolly, you shouldn't have come back at this time. The empire is becoming increasingly chaotic. No, that's why I have to come back. I can't just watch the empire fall, Jolly said excitedly. Forget it, let's get on the carriage and go into the city first. Since the person driving the carriage was dead, Nangong Long had to use magic to steer the carriage forward, which surprised Sibiya. I have heard before that there is a duke in the court who can compete with ministers and protect many officials with conscience, but I didn't expect him to be so young. It is true that heroes emerge from youth, Jolie exclaimed. So he is so powerful, Sibiya thought. Request flowers, 0 Minister Jolly, thank you for your praise. I am just telling the truth. I wonder what the Duke thinks about the current situation of the Empire, asked Jolie. As the sun sets in the west, the building will collapse. Is there no room for redemption? Jolly said unwillingly. Ministers have been in power for too long, and local officials have oppressed the people at will and acted lawlessly. The people have long been dissatisfied, and an explosion is only a matter of time. Damn you, Minister, Jolly said angrily. Dad, be careful not to get sick from being angry, Sibiya said worriedly. I'm fine. Is there no way for the Duke to appease the people? Jolly asked unwillingly. 0 There is no way. The Emperor obeys his ministers unconditionally, regardless of right or wrong. How could this happen? Jolly said in disbelief. Water can carry a boat, but it can also capsize it. He who wins the hearts of the people wins the world. Today's empire has long lost all of this. Water can carry a boat, but it can also capsize it, capsize it, capsize it. Jolly kept repeating this, and finally could only sigh helplessly, no matter what, I still have to do something for the empire. Then I won't say much. Does Minister Jolly have a place to live? I have a mansion in the imperial capital. The Duke can just send me there. Nangong Long drove the carriage to the place where Xiao Li said. Since you two have arrived home, it's time for me to leave too. Why don't you come in and sit down? I haven't thanked you properly yet, Sibi Ching asked. No, there are people waiting for me at home. A woman? It's better not to ask first, Sibiya thought. Okay then, Sibiya said dejectedly. You can come find me if you have time. I live not far from here. The largest mansion you see along this street is my home. Okay, I will definitely go, Sibi said happily. Chapter 42. On the other side, the 4 Rakshasa ghosts and their group were rushing back to the minister's residence. Zhu Tian, what do you think? Asked Ji. I think I'd better think about it seriously. The Duke's words really concern me, Zhu Tian said solemnly. It's the sentence that the minister will die soon, Ji continued. That's right, I suspect the Duke may make a big move in the near future, and it is very likely to change the situation in the entire empire, Zhu Tian guessed. I agree with you. The Duke is not a good person to begin with, and coupled with his incredible strength, we really can't believe that he will continue like this, Ji said with emotion. Generation 957, I heard that Esteth has a very good relationship with Nangong Long and has been living in his house recently, Ma Tiu interrupted. Indeed, General Esteth hasn't been listening to the ministers much recently, Zhu Tian said. Think about it carefully. We never know when we will fight again. If you don't give a satisfactory answer then, you will definitely die, Zhu Tian continued. I guess I will surrender. After all, I don't want to die while I can still live. It is obvious that the Duke's side is stronger than the ministers now, said the horsehead. What Ma Tiu said is right. The Duke has more than one imperial weapon user under his command, and the whereabouts of the assassination troops who defected to him are unknown. This is also very worrying, said Ji. The result is already obvious. Next time you meet us, you will side with the Duke. Any objection? Zhu Tian said seriously. The other 3 nodded in agreement. Should we bring some gifts or something, suggested Ji. Zhu Tian said seriously, that's right. Then we should collect as much information as possible about the ministers and bring it to the Duke as a gift. Clear minister's house. Minister, we have failed. The minister didn't care about the injuries on Zhu Tian and Ji's body at all, but directly said angrily, what's going on? We met Nangong Long and were stopped by him. It's this little brat again. How dare he go against me in every way? The minister was so angry that he bit the chicken leg hard. Then how did you escape back? Because Nangong Long was concerned about Xiao Li and his daughter, we had a chance to escape. Originally, I would have punished you for failing the mission, but I'll let it go this time. I have sent people to find Oberg to assassinate that brat. You will need to cooperate with Oberg's people at that time. This time, I will make sure that BD Nangong Long is killed without a burial place, said the minister with a grim face. Okay, you guys go down. Yes, if the minister knew that Oberg had defected to Nangong Long, his expression would definitely change. After leaving the minister's residence, Ji said, the meeting gift is here yet, the horsehead nodded. The most urgent thing is to heal your injuries, and we can worry about other things later, Zhu Tian said. Duke's palace. I guess the minister has begun to doubt me, said Esteth. It doesn't matter. I didn't intend to hide it. Ryu, I want to form a team composed entirely of Imperial weapon users. Okay, tomorrow I will recruit people from all over the country in my name. Why don't you ask me why? No need, you are mine, Song. If you want, I will help you do it 3 days later. This is the Imperial tool user that can be deployed at the moment. Nangong Long handed the document in his hand to Esteth. Kurat and Leona are also planning to join, what do you think? Welcome, but there are really few people transferred here. There is no way for now. People with status are unwilling to come. But when I ascend to the throne, I will forcibly take back the Imperial weapon, and then I will select the right person. Aren't you afraid that they will rebel against you? Esteth teased. Do you think I'm scared? Of course not. I'm going to see my new subordinates. Do you want to come with me? No, remember to bring black them. Special police conference room. We have arrived at the meeting place smoothly. The next step is to greet our new colleagues. Believe in yourself, Will, it will be fine. Encouraging himself, Will pushed open the door in front of him. Hello, I am from the Imperial Navy. Seeing a scary-looking man sitting in the conference room, Will stopped talking and immediately closed the door again. What's going on? Am I in the wrong place? In order to confirm whether he had come to the wrong place, Will took out the call again. That's right, it's here. That means the people inside are my future colleagues. No way, Will thought in shock. Will calmed down and opened the door again. In short, he didn't want to disturb him. He walked over quietly and sat down. Perfect, Will thought as he sat on the chair successfully. After a while, the door was opened again and a blonde young man walked in. Will was so moved that he almost cried. Finally a normal person came. Hello, I am Will from the Imperial Navy. Hello, I'm Lan. It looks like everyone isn't here yet. Chapter 43. Esteth and her group were on their way to the meeting room. Sister AI, what are you going to do by summoning the Imperial weapon users? Hei Tong asked. The war in the Imperial capital is about to begin, so the more manpower the better. Moreover, Long is planning to expand his territory, which will also require a lot of manpower. Let's just make some preparations in advance. You still care about him a lot, Leon said. Aren't you? Esteth asked teasingly. Meeting room. From today on, I will be your new boss, said Esteth, who was sitting at the top seat. Let's introduce each other and have a welcome party later. Yes, a few days later, an unknown dangerous humanoid species suddenly appeared near Meng and attacked the villagers everywhere. How was the investigation? According to the existing information, it is speculated that a person named Fashion released the experimental subject, and his whereabouts are currently unknown, Lan replied. Don't look for him, he's dead. The general knows him. Just a guy who overestimates his own abilities. What else are we talking about? Asked Nangong Long, who had just arrived at the garden. Adult Duke Lan Xingli Road. We are all family, just be casual. Yes, Long, why are you here? I heard from Siriuhu that you guys are investigating some dangerous species recently. I came to take a look. Well, we were talking about this. Lan found out that it was Shi Shang's experimental subject that escaped, but Shi Shang has been killed by you. It must have been done by someone else. It should be Zilla who is back. No one else would do this except him. The minister's son? I've never met him and don't know much about him, said Esteth. He has a very bad personality and treats everyone as his toys. The only person he respects is his father, but at the same time he is very afraid of him. His goal is to surpass the minister. In short, he is a guy who doesn't take human life seriously. Oh, and he is also quite lustful. Hearing Nangong Long say this, Lan clenched her fists and tried to suppress her anger. It was because of the existence of such guys that the children had to encounter such things. I hate them so much. Sooner or later, I will kill them all and avenge the children. When it comes to lust, you are the same, my dear Duke, Esteth teased. I'm different from him. I never force anyone. Your murderous intent is almost solidified, Nangong Long said, looking back at Lan. Sorry, it brings back some bad memories, those dead children. This, the Duke already knows about it. Lan asked in surprise. Well, I checked your past before transferring you here. How could I assign someone with bad intentions to his death? I know you might be unhappy, but I'm not angry. I would do the same if I were in your shoes, Lan said. What? Are you still not confident about my strength? Of course not, but your strength and my concern for you are two different things. Esteth smiled happily when she heard the person she loved say this. Lan, since you said so, I won't say anything more. I have received news that the murderer who killed your student will arrive in the imperial capital soon. What? Please, Duke, tell me the whereabouts of the murderer, Lan said excitedly. He had waited for this moment for too long. I won't stop you from taking revenge, but you'll have to wait for a while. Why? I don't know his exact location, I only know that he was recruited by Zilla, and will soon go to the Imperial City with other recruited people. Who did Sheila look for? Esteth asked. All of them are Imperial tool users, 5 in total per day. It seems that he is quite ambitious, Esteth said with a smile. I don't care what his ambitions are. I only know that I will soon get 6 Imperial instruments, Nangong Long said with a smile. It looks like he's going to be in big trouble. No, he won't be unlucky, because I will send him straight to hell. Lan, do you want to do it yourself or should I help you? Nanlong asked. I want to take revenge myself. Please tell me the murderer's appearance, Your Excellency. It's easy to recognize. It's a fat guy dressed as a clown. Thank you, Your Excellency the Duke, for your help. Then I will take my leave and not disturb the Duke and the General. After getting information about his enemy, he planned to go back and make careful plans to ensure the safety of Wang Yi. Let's go out for a walk. I'm somewhat interested in new dangerous species, said Esteth. Good. After reaching the courtyard, Nangong Long called Tyrande, sat on its back and flew to the outskirts of the imperial capital. Well? Land on the top of that mountain, Nangong Long ordered. Is there anything on the top of the mountain? Esteth asked. There are several dangerous humanoid species. As soon as Tyrande landed, several dangerous creatures with ferocious looks rushed towards her madly. Roar. After all, Tyrande is a super dangerous species. How could she tolerate a few weaklings provoking her? She would just crush them with a few claws. I didn't expect to meet them here, and the rumors about Nangong Long taming Tyrande turned out to be true, Sheila, who was hiding in the stone store, thought in surprise. Nangong Long came down and pointed at the broken body and said, this is a new type of dangerous species from fashion research, but it's almost gone. Salo and the others have cleared out a lot of them in the past few days. It's nothing, just so weak. Who? Come out, Esteth suddenly turned around and said. I didn't expect to be discovered, said Sheila indifferently as she walked out from behind the stone in a cloak. The guy who hides his head and shows his tail. Esteth condensed an ice cone and prepared to kill the rat who disturbed her date. At this moment, a magic circle suddenly appeared under their feet and surrounded the two of them. In an instant, they disappeared. I'll give you a big gift, Scylla said with a proud smile. Roar. Seeing her master disappear, Tyrande went mad and rushed towards Sheila. Oh no, this big guy is still here, let's retreat first. Zilla quickly activated the imperial weapon and left the top of the mountain. He had no interest in fighting with Tyrande. Seeing the enemy suddenly disappear, Tyrande became even more crazy and could only destroy the top of the mountain to vent her anger. It was not until Nangong Long told Tyrande through magic that he was fine that Tyrande flew back to the Duke's mansion. Chapter 44. Where is this? Esteth said as she looked at the scenery in front of her. It doesn't matter. I think the environment here is nice. I'll just treat it as a vacation. Nangong Long knew how to use magic to block space and prevent teleportation, but he thought the environment of this island was good and perfect for a date, so he didn't stop it. That's right, you can go back whenever you want, so let's start our happy date, said Esteth with a smile. A huge dangerous humanoid appeared from the other side of the island and walked towards Nangong Long and the others. How dare you interrupt my date? This is unforgivable. A large number of ice cones appeared around Esteth, shooting towards the dangerous humanoid like thousands of arrows. Although the dangerous species was shot like a hedgehog, it did not suffer any substantial damage and was still able to move freely. Nangong Long held back Esteth, who was about to rush forward to attack, and pointed his finger. Black hole. A small dark hole appeared out of nowhere in front of the dangerous species, and then the dangerous species began to twist and squeeze inward with the black hole as the center, as if it had been ravaged by some huge force, and finally disappeared completely without a trace, as if it had never appeared. "You have so many moves, they're different every time I see them," Asdeth exclaimed. "The problem has been solved," the date continues. "Wait a minute, this was done by Sheila," Asdeth confirmed. Besides you, I can only think of Imperial tools that can teleport instantly." "You're right. Sheila possesses the space-type Imperial weapon Shangri-La, which allows him to move through space using preset coordinates. If he wants to escape, few people will be able to stop him. It's a bit troublesome, but it's okay. At worst, I can use my ultimate move to freeze time." "You must have a better way to deal with him, right?" "Yes, of course, I can seal off the space, and then his Imperial weapon will be useless." "Then why didn't you use it just now?" "I just want to see what tricks he has. If there is any problem, I can transfer it back." "I have nothing more to say. Let's go on a date," Asdeth said with a slightly blushing face. Chancellery. Sheila returns home after escaping Tyranda's attack. "Sheila, what did you gain from this trip?" "Of course, I found 5 powerful men, and they will come to the Imperial capital in a few days," Zilla said with a smile. "Good job. We are short of manpower recently. It would be great if you could find some talented people." "What happened?" "That brat Nangong Long is against me in everything, and Asdeth is not as obedient as before. She always finds various reasons to refuse recent orders. I suspect she may have rebelled. There are so many troubles that I can't eat and have lost a lot of weight," said the minister while eating meat. "I just met them. I used my Imperial weapon to send them to an isolated island on the border. I was planning to open a passage back after a while. But now, Father, do you think we should let them back?" Sheila asked. "No, I want to take this opportunity to clean up those who oppose me." Good Duke's palace. After spending almost a day on the isolated island, the two returned home. As soon as they entered the house, they were surrounded by Silu and others and kept asking questions. "Where have you been? Why is there no one around?" Cole asked. When Nangong Long was thinking about what to say, Asdeth beside him had already spoken. "We went to a beautiful island for a date for the whole day. In an instant, dozens of pairs of eyes stared at Nangong Long. Not good, murderous intent." "Is that so?" There is a reason for this, let me tell you." "Hey? Why do I suddenly feel so cold?" The girl's jealousy level has reached an unprecedented level. Finally, Nangong Long managed to calm the girls down with great effort and promised to take them to the island next time. The next day, Nangong Long went to the palace and showed his face to demonstrate his presence. He has been going to the palace more frequently recently, unlike before when he would go there once every 10 days or half a month. He is not alone now, but has his own faction. If he is not there, the officials in his faction will lose their backbone and may be killed by the ministers on some random charge. The minister almost fainted when he saw Nangong Long appear in the court. Last night, Zilla vowed that as long as he did not open the passage, Nanlong and his men would take 3 days to return even if they took a dangerous flying vehicle. What's more, there are no large flying dangerous species on the island, so it will take more time to return to the Imperial capital. As a result, the man came back the next morning. For this, the minister scolded Zilla after returning home, which made Zilla hate Nangong Long even more, and secretly vowed to make him live a life worse than death. Nangong Long didn't know these, but even if he knew he wouldn't care, he was just a clown. After leaving the palace, Nangong Long went to the dessert shop as usual and bought some sweets to take back. This has almost become a habit for him. After returning home, Gulong handed the dessert to his daughter and asked her to share it. "Hello, King, today, Siriu is rarely at home. Usually, she stays in the guard team at this time. Why are you being lazy today, Siriu?" Nangong Long teased. "Humph, I didn't. I just came back to ask the sisters for help." "Are you in trouble?" "No, it's just that my men found out that a group of bandits had built a fortress in Yugong Lake, and I was going to wipe them out. But I was afraid that some of them would slip through the net, so I came back to ask for help." "I see. I have nothing to do. I'll go with you. You don't need to bring guards. I'll just use my ultimate skill to clean it up." "Ultimate move? There are quite a lot of them," Seletu reminded. "It's all right, when are you going to do it? At night, they all returned to the fort at that time. Okay, then we'll set off tonight. Chapter 45. Night, we're just cleaning up the scum, why are you all here? Let's start quickly, I can't wait to see your so-called ultimate move, Asdeth urged. The other girls also looked at Nangong Long expectantly. How about this? Forget it, since it's night time, just use it. I'll invite you to watch a meteor shower, Nangong Long said to the girls. Fire and meteor. Suddenly, dozens of flames appeared in the sky and fell towards the bandit camp below. Why is it suddenly so bright? The bandit on duty wondered, then looked up at the sky. His eyes widened as if he had seen something unbelievable. Meteorite, meteorite, are you kidding me? After realizing what was happening, he immediately ran away, hoping to get out of the range of the falling meteorite. As for his companions, don't be ridiculous, who has the time to take care of them at this time? The same thing happened to the other bandit 917 who was on night duty. But no matter how hard they ran, it was in vain. Boom, boom, boom. The impact of dozens of meteorites directly smashed the fortress into a basin, with flames shooting into the sky. There was no doubt that none of the bandits were spared. Moreover, due to the large attack range, the water in Yugong Lake also began to flow into the basin. The girls behind Nangong Long were all stunned. This was simply a natural disaster. Do you like it? Nangong Long asked. This is the most beautiful meteor I have ever seen, said Asdeth, who was the first to recover from the shock. The other girls also nodded mechanically. Just like it. Tell me the truth, is this your strongest move? Leon came over and hugged Nangong Long's neck and asked. No, is there anyone stronger? Let me have a chance to see it, Asdeth said excitedly. A few days later, the Revolutionary Army sent a night raid to assassinate the spy Borik arranged by Minister An, Sika, in Anning Road. For this reason, Nichidan came to the Duke's mansion to ask Nangong Long's opinion. Since the last time, Nangong Long left Sage No. 3 at the night raid base, Sonaj came through the portal and did not need to worry about being discovered. Long, do you have any opinion? Naja asked. No, but I plan to go with you. Is Balak such a difficult character to kill? Naja frowned, and it was obvious that she misunderstood Nangong Long's meaning. No, I'm just a little interested in the leader of a Ning Dao. Is there anything special about him? Naja asked curiously. A hybrid of a human and a dangerous species, do you think it's special? Nangong Long said with a smile. What? Naja said in surprise. Is it possible for such a thing to exist? Everything is possible. When do we leave? Asked Nangong Long. I plan to leave in 2 days. Okay, I'll find you then. Now that we have finished discussing the main business, let's talk about something else. Nangong Long suddenly stood up and walked to Naja and sat down. Naja was about to move away, but Nangong Long pulled her into his arms. What do you want to do? Naja said with a red face. After returning to his room, Nangong Long used magic to isolate the house from the outside world to prevent the sound from spreading out. After all, it is not good to be disturbed when doing such things. Naja didn't come out of Nangong Long's house the whole afternoon. The next day, Nangong Long accompanied Naja back to the night attack base. The 2 people who just entered the door met the 3 people from Chikushi, and they seemed to be about to go out. Long, you are here too, Tsukushi greeted, then looked at Naja and said, Boss, you are finally back. We were just about to go look for you, Bonnie said. If I didn't know that the boss went to Long, I would have suspected that something had happened to you, said Chi Tong. What happened? Akahima asked. Naja blushed and explained, nothing, I just discussed some future plans with Long. We talked so much that we forgot the time and just stayed there overnight. Okay, go call everyone to the conference room so I can explain the plan for the next mission. After saying this, Naja hurriedly pulled Nangong Long and prepared to leave. See you later, Nangong Long said with a smile. Do you think the boss's steps are a little strange? Bonnie said. AX. In the middle of the conversation, Chikushi's face changed. He had stayed overnight and his steps were unnatural. Could it be? Thinking of this, Tsukushi looked at Akame, and coincidentally Akame also looked at her, and they both saw the same answer in each other's eyes. Damn it, the boss got there first. I was too careless. What's wrong with you two? Why are you suddenly silent? Bonnie asked puzzledly. I'll explain to you later, now go and inform others, Tsukushi sighed. Lift meeting room. This is the general plan. Do you have any opinions? Naja asked. No, said the night raid group. I have something to say. If any of you encounter a man with a sickle-shaped weapon, remember to recycle his weapon after killing him, said Nangong Long, who was sitting next to Naja. Is it an imperial weapon? Brand asked. Yes, and its ability is unknown, but the user is very weak, so don't worry too much. Understood. If you have no objection, go down and prepare, Naja concluded. Chapter 45. Night. We're just cleaning up the scum, why are you all here? Let's start quickly, I can't wait to see your so-called ultimate move, Asdeth urged. The other girls also looked at Nangong Long expectantly. How about this? Forget it, since it's night time, just use it. I'll invite you to watch a meteor shower, Nangong Long said to the girls. Fire and meteor. Suddenly, dozens of flames appeared in the sky and fell towards the bandit camp below. Why is it suddenly so bright? The bandit on duty wondered, then looked up at the sky. His eyes widened as if he had seen something unbelievable. Meteorite, meteorite, are you kidding me? After realizing what was happening, he immediately ran away, hoping to get out of the range of the falling meteorite. As for his companions, don't be ridiculous, who has the time to take care of them at this time? The same thing happened to the other bandit 917 who was on night duty. But no matter how hard they ran, it was in vain. Boom, boom, boom. The impact of dozens of meteorites directly smashed the fortress into a basin, with flames shooting into the sky. There was no doubt that none of the bandits were spared. Moreover, due to the large attack range, the water in Yugong Lake also began to flow into the basin. The girls behind Nangong Long were all stunned. This was simply a natural disaster. Do you like it? Nangong Long asked. This is the most beautiful meteor I have ever seen, said Asdeth, who was the first to recover from the shock. The other girls also nodded mechanically. Just like it. Tell me the truth, is this your strongest move? Leon came over and hugged Nangong Long's neck and asked. No, is there anyone stronger? Let me have a chance to see it, Asdeth said excitedly. A few days later, the Revolutionary Army sent a night raid to assassinate the spy Borik arranged by Minister An, Sika, in Anning Road. For this reason, Nichitan came to the Duke's mansion to ask Nangong Long's opinion. Since the last time, Nangong Long left Sage number 3 at the night raid base, Sonaj came through the portal and did not need to worry about being discovered. Long, do you have any opinion? Naja asked. No, but I plan to go with you. Is Balak such a difficult character to kill? Naja frowned, and it was obvious that she misunderstood Nangong Long's meaning. No, I'm just a little interested in the leader of a Ning Dao. Is there anything special about him? Naja asked curiously. A hybrid of a human and a dangerous species, do you think it's special? Nangong Long said with a smile. What? Naja said in surprise. Is it possible for such a thing to exist? Everything is possible. When do we leave? Asked Nangong Long. I plan to leave in 2 days. Okay, I'll find you then. Now that we have finished discussing the main business, let's talk about something else. Nangong Long suddenly stood up and walked to Naja and sat down. Naja was about to move away, but Nangong Long pulled her into his arms. What do you want to do? Naja said with a red face. After returning to his room, Nangong Long used magic to isolate the house from the outside world to prevent the sound from spreading out. After all, it is not good to be disturbed when doing such things. Naja didn't come out of Nangong Long's house the whole afternoon. The next day, Nangong Long accompanied Naja back to the night attack base. The 2 people who just entered the door met the 3 people from Chikushi, and they seemed to be about to go out. Long, you are here too, Tsukushi greeted, then looked at Naja and said, Boss, you are finally back. We were just about to go look for you, Bonnie said. If I didn't know that the boss went to Long, I would have suspected that something had happened to you, said Chi Tong. What happened? Akahima asked. Naja blushed and explained, nothing, I just discussed some future plans with Long. We talked so much that we forgot the time and just stayed there overnight. Okay, go call everyone to the conference room so I can explain the plan for the next mission. After saying this, Naja hurriedly pulled Nangong Long and prepared to leave. See you later, Nangong Long said with a smile. Do you think the boss's steps are a little strange? Bonnie said. AX. In the middle of the conversation, Chikushi's face changed. He had stayed overnight and his steps were unnatural. Could it be? Thinking of this, Tsukushi looked at Akame, and coincidentally Akame also looked at her, and they both saw the same answer in each other's eyes. Damn it, the boss got there first. I was too careless. What's wrong with you two? Why are you suddenly silent? Bonnie asked puzzledly. I'll explain to you later, now go and inform others, Tsukushi sighed. Lift meeting room. This is the general plan. Do you have any opinions? Naja asked. No, said the night raid group. I have something to say. If any of you encounter a man with a sickle-shaped weapon, remember to recycle his weapon after killing him, said Nangong Long, who was sitting next to Naja. Is it an imperial weapon? Brand asked. Yes, and its ability is unknown, but the user is very weak, so don't worry too much. Understood. If you have no objection, go down and prepare, Naja concluded. Chapter 47. The Night Raiders who had completed the assassination mission also rushed over one after another. Zhu Tian and the other two were becoming more and more shocked. They had never thought that Nangong Long would be related to the night attack. They couldn't help but wonder if Nangong Long was an accomplice of the Revolutionary Army. Why 3 people? Because Suzuka was lying on the ground savoring the pleasure of being ravaged by Nangong Long. Of course, she only felt that way. In fact, Nangong Long just kicked the pendant off his leg. After everyone arrived, Nangong Long asked them to introduce themselves to each other. Everyone who attacked at night was also surprised. They didn't expect that Nangong Long could even subdue the minister's private executioner this time. Akatong, I never thought that we would work together one day, Ji sighed. I never thought that the 4 Rakshasa ghosts would betray the minister one day. Haha, he who knows the times is a hero. The Duke didn't kill us, so there is no need for us to be ungrateful and die for the minister, Ji said with a smile. What's more, to the minister, we are just tools that can be thrown away after use, Ji continued. By the way, are your companions okay? Hill pointed at Suzuka. It's okay. This is what happens when a person gets too excited, Matsuyu explained. What happened? Marin asked. It became like this after being kicked by the Duke, the horsehead replied. In an instant, the girl's eyes were all focused on Nangong Long. What's going on? Naji asked. Well, to put it simply, she is a masochist. I beat her in a previous battle, and who knew that she liked that feeling? Just now, she hugged my thigh and asked me to beat her. I couldn't let her hang on my legs all the time, so I had to kick her away, Nangong Long shrugged. What a weird hobby, Tsukushi complained. Someone is coming, Bran suddenly said, pointing down the mountain. Portal, you guys go back first, I have something else to do. What's the matter? Asked Chi Tong. The person coming here is the leader of a Ning Dao. I have a few words to say to him. Chi Tong and others knew that Nangong Long possessed extremely terrifying dynamic vision, so they did not question his words. Be careful, said Chi Tong. Don't worry, don't you know my strength? Come back soon, said Chikushi. Hurry up, Bonnie said. Afterwards, everyone from the night raid team began to walk into the portal one by one. Ji, Zhu Tian, you guys should leave first and wait for me at the night raid base. Yes, Ji and Zhu Tian's hearts were already filled with turbulent waves at this moment. According to Nangong Long's instructions, they could reach the night attack base by walking through the dark vortex in front of them. This was teleportation. How powerful was his ability? They had never heard of any imperial weapon with such a terrifying effect. While thinking, Ji walked into the portal. He didn't think much about the black vortex in front of him. Although it looked creepy, he didn't think it was a trap because there was no need. If Nangong Long really wanted to kill them, it would only take a flick of his finger. Matsuyu, go pull Suzuka up. I can't do that. Once you become like that, no one can stop you. After thinking about it, there was no point in keeping Suzuka here, so Nangong Long simply opened the portal again and threw Suzuka in. Afterwards, Nangong Long found a stone and sat down. Matsuyu, come and sit here too. Oh, after a while, the leader of a Ning Dao and thousands of guards finally came over. I've been waiting for you for a long time, said Nangong Long. When they saw a suspicious person, the guards immediately protected the leader. The horsehead also stood up suddenly, ready to take action at any time. Do you know me? The leader waved his hand to indicate that everything was fine and asked the guards to step back. Who doesn't know the leader of a Ning Taoism? Nangong Long also pulled the horse's head back. Let's sit down and talk, Nangong Long said, pointing to a stone. Okay, the leader responded with a smile. What do you want to talk about? Do you think Ning is right? Nangong Long asked. I just want to help more people, the leader replied irrelevantly. Haha, your intention is good, but your subordinates may not think the same as you, can't you feel it? No one is purely good. I fully trust my subordinates. Without them, a Ning Dao would not be so large, and I would not be able to help more people. Number, AAA. What do you mean? A guard couldn't help but asked angrily. It's okay. The leader waved his hand to stop the guards. Can you tell me why you are laughing? Asked the leader. I am laughing at you. You are saving people but your subordinates are harming them. What does this mean? The leader frowned. Your trusted subordinates put drugs in the food of the followers and even used your name to have S*X with women. Who is it? Berlick, but he is just the biggest cancer among them, there are also many other little ghosts. Not only that, he also plans to kill you and become the next leader, making you completely deified. Why did he do this? Do you have any evidence? Why? Of course it's for power, wealth, and women. By the way, he is an undercover agent sent by the minister. Whether you believe it or not is none of my business. Here's a piece of advice for you. If you don't want a Ning Dao to rot from within, use your abilities to carefully select the cadres. Matio Yu, let's go. Looking at the two people walking away, the leader fell into deep thought. After a long while, he spoke, let's go back after the night attack. Nangong Long we left with the 4 Rakshasa ghosts. 5 days later Mela came to the Duke's mansion and said that she had almost finished the things on hand and wanted to stay for a few days. While Nangong Long was out, the girls gathered together. You don't just want to stay for a few days, do you? Asked Mio. She always felt that Mela was doing something. That's right, they're not planning to attack us, are they? Chelsea said vigilantly. Hearing her say that, the other girls felt a chill all over their bodies and got goosebumps. How could that be? If I did that, the dragon might kill me. I don't want to experience that. Actually, I'm mainly here to deepen my relationship with Long, otherwise, it would be terrible if I fell out of favor one day, Myra said with a smirk. Hey? Are you serious? Cole asked. Certainly sisters, keep an eye on her these days, Cole said. Don't you think she said that on purpose so that we would keep looking at her and increase the chances of being alone with us, said Tycho. Oh, Mio found out, Myra looked heartbroken. Chapter 48. 2 days later, Nangong Long called everyone home. Long, what are you going to do? Esteth said. I'll take you to the theatre troupe to watch a play and relax, Nangong Long said with a smile. Is it okay that we are still wanted? Asked Akame. Just disguise yourself, who dares to check my people? Anyway, there won't be any problems. Just go and have fun. Leave the rest to me. Sabatini troupe welcome everyone. Nangong Long nodded as a greeting. You can sit anywhere. I have reserved the place and no one else will come. Is it so luxurious? Leon teased. Nangong Long shook his head and laughed, then found a suitable seat in the front row and sat down. Esteth sat naturally on his right, and Naj sat unnoticed on his left. The remaining girls secretly hated themselves for being a step slower and could only find other places to sit around Nan 24 Gong Long Ah. I'm so envious. I also want to be surrounded by beautiful girls, said Lubbock, who was sitting in the back jealously. It's okay, I'm here with you, Brand comforted. Unfortunately, his comfort only made Lubbock more sad. The Duke is so popular, Will exclaimed. It's no wonder that even General Esteth fell, Lando said. Dad hug really? You're acting like a spoiled brat to Dad again. Porus took his daughter and said to his wife, it's okay. Ah, what is this? It's so dazzling. Will on the side stretched out his hand to block the glaring light. After spending a long time together, the hunter already knew the relationship between Yexi and Nangong Long, so it was not surprising that they sat here calmly and watched the show together. It seems that the Duke's power is truly amazing, Ji said with emotion. Indeed, the number of Emperor Tool users is frighteningly large, Zhu Tian agreed. Matio Yu, don't you want to sit in the front? Asked Ji. No, it's fine here. You wait here for a moment, I'll go backstage to take a look, said Nangong Long. Backstage the whole place is reserved today. It's no wonder that there are so many rich people in the capital, Amuli sighed. He must be a villain who exploits the people, said Natalia. I don't know if I'll have the chance to see Long again. I haven't seen him since the last time, Natalia said suddenly. It's difficult, after all, he is the Duke, you can't just meet him casually. Recently I heard that the top management seems to be very dissatisfied with Long, said Amuli. How could that be? Long is not a bad person who oppresses the people, Natalia said in disbelief. It seems that the dragon will hinder the revolution, but I don't know the details. At this time, Nangong Long, who had been eavesdropping outside for a while, walked in. Why do I feel like someone is saying bad things about me behind my back? Seeing the person they had been thinking about day and night suddenly appear in front of them, Natalia and the others were stunned. Long time no see, said Nangong Long. Yet, long time no see, Natalia said with a smile. Long, why are you here? I am the villain who booked the theatre troupe as you said, Nangong Long said sarcastically. Well, I didn't know it was you, otherwise I would never have said that, Nada blushed and explained hurriedly. I understand. By the way, what about the others? Captain, they are preparing props for the performance, Amuli replied. Are you here alone? Nada asked. No, I brought quite a few people, including some of your old friends. Who is it? You'll see it when the performance starts later. Tisk, you're still keeping me in suspense. In the minister's residence, the wild hounds were sitting together in boredom, complaining to each other. Sheila, it's so boring, Yangzhen complained. Little kid, Shang Pu said. It's been a long time since I sacrificed my beloved sword with blood, Yi Zhang said as he wiped Zhang Shuet. How about we go and kill your enemy Nangong Long? Duotia suggested. That's right. I heard that he has a lot of beautiful girls under his command. If I kill him, they will be mine, Yan Xin said with a lewd smile. As long as I can sacrifice the blood of Zhang Shui 327, I can kill anyone, Yi Zhang said indifferently. Not for now. If you want to kill him, you have to wait until he is alone, and then you have to have a perfect plan, Zilla said calmly. It's not that serious. If we work together, it'll be easy to kill anyone we want, Yan Xin said nonchalantly. This is the imperial capital, not your broken island. Don't think you are invincible just because you have the imperial instruments. There are many people in the imperial capital who possess the imperial instruments, Xi Laxun said. Yes, I got it, Yan Xin replied casually, obviously not taking it to heart. Zilla didn't say anything. If he wasn't short of people, he wouldn't have bothered to remind him. The stronger the enemy, the more worth killing him, Zhang said, staring at his beloved sword. It would be even better if it could become a good experimental material, Dotia said with a smile. We can't stay here all the time, our bodies are almost rusty. Why don't we go out for a walk? I heard there's a circus in the capital with many beautiful women. How about we go there? Yan Xin said with a lewd face. Okay, I'll take you out to indulge yourself today, Scylla said with a smile. Chapter 49. Nangong Long talked with Nada for a while backstage and then returned to his seat. The performance is about to begin, said Nangong Long. Why did you take so long? Naja asked. I saw an acquaintance and chatted with him for a while. Who is it? Akaji's friend mine. Chi Tong asked with a puzzled look. Yeah, that was a long time ago. At this time, Nada and Amuli walked onto the stage. Originally, they were not the first to perform, but some of them were curious about the acquaintances mentioned by Nangong Long, so they changed the order of performance with their companions. As soon as they came on stage, they saw a group of beautiful girls surrounding Nangong Long, and they couldn't help but frown. This is too much, Nada whispered. It can't be all like this, the pressure is so great, Amuli muttered. Although her emotions fluctuated, she still had to do what she had to do. Nada stepped forward and said, Welcome to the Sabatini troupe. We hope our upcoming performances will bring you joy. Amul took the opportunity to look around, but didn't see anyone she knew, so she glanced at Nada and asked in a low voice, I don't see any familiar figures, how about you? Don't worry about that for now, let's start the performance, and then we can just go down and ask Long. Alright. Although Nangong Long didn't care whether Kaitong and the others were exposed, they still disguised themselves to a certain extent, so Nada and the others did not recognize them. When they saw the two people on the stage, Akame and Tsukushi's long-forgotten memories were awakened again in an instant. It turned out to be them. I didn't expect to meet them again, Akagi said nostalgically. Yet, Tsukushi sighed. Who are you? Please tell me clearly. I can't understand you, Marin said anxiously. Looking at the curious mine, Tsukushi said with a smile, that was a long time ago. At that time, we had just started to carry out assassination missions, and they were our targets. At that time, Akame and I were really happy. We didn't hope that they were members of the Revolutionary Army at all, otherwise we would have to kill them with our own hands. What happened in the end? Marin asked. After we confirmed that they were not members of the Revolutionary Army, we found an excuse to leave, Akame replied. At that time, we were really happy to know that we didn't need to kill them. We really don't want the friends we made with great difficulty to become enemies, Akame continued. Hehe, actually, they are really members of the Revolutionary Army, Nangong Long interrupted. What? We have been hiding for so long. If that's the case, how come we didn't reveal any clues at all? Tsukushi said in surprise. Because I informed them, they will naturally not reveal any information about the Revolutionary Army in front of you. Tsukushi was speechless. Anyway, at least they're not dead, said Akagi on the side. When he first learned that Akagi and the other girl were in the troop, Nangong Long rushed over and told the people in Sabatini troop that Akagi and the other girl were part of the assassination team. At first they didn't believe it, until they met the bandits and witnessed the terrifying fighting power of Chi Tong and the other man, then they completely believed Nangong Long's words. Afterwards, the people of the Sabatini troop began to act cautiously and even ignored the calls from the Revolutionary Army, which was how they deceived Akame and the others. Who is in charge here? Come out and see me quickly. Scylla broke into the room directly. Seeing all kinds of beauties sitting in the room, Yan Xin's eyes almost popped out. There are so many beautiful girls, this trip is not in vain, Yan Xin said with a lewd smile. Where did this dog come from? Why is it barking? Nangong Long said with a frown. After seeing who was sitting inside, Zilla's pupils shrank instantly. This was not good. So many fighting forces were gathered together. But he was not too worried. After all, he trusted his imperial weapon very much. If he couldn't win, he could still run away. Which BD said that? Stand up! Yan Xin shouted angrily. Asthetha's body instantly released a bone-chilling chill. Although she was smiling, she gave people a very terrifying feeling. It was obvious that she was going to kill someone. The Duke has gone too far with what he said, Scylla said grimly. Really hearing this, Zilla smiled. So what if he was the Duke? He still had to submit. But Nangong Long's next words froze his smile, and then he became even more furious. How can you be considered a dog? You are nothing more than a puppy, relying on the power of an old dog like the minister to bully others. Just now the girls were wondering why Long was so easy to talk to today. In their impression, Nangong Long was always tough with people like Zilla. When they heard him say that, they realized that they were just overthinking. What did you say? Zilla shouted angrily with veins on his face. He respected his father very much and would not allow anyone to look down on him, let alone insult him. Why waste time talking to him? Let's just kill him and these girls will be mine. Before Yan Xin finished speaking, an overwhelming pressure swept over him. Not only him, but everyone present felt it. The darkness, deathly silence, and suffocating murderous intent were only the aftermath. It was hard to imagine how terrified the wild hunting technique would be when it was targeted. And the source of all this is Nangong Long's death, who was sitting next to Nangong Long, was so excited that she couldn't contain herself. Is this the real you? This aura is really amazing. Zhao Lihao, I really love you more and more. So scary, so terrible. Remus fearfully moved closer to Wu Min. It's fine Long, what kind of past do you have? Chi Tong wondered. This aura is like the root of all malice, Myra thought. Shangri-La regained a little bit of sanity and immediately activated the imperial weapon, determined to escape. If she stayed, she would definitely die. But the imperial weapon, which had always been invincible, did not react at all this time. No matter how Sheila tried, it remained where it was. How could this happen? Start it quickly! Zilla shouted in horror. What kind of monster have we provoked? Dotya trembled all over. It looks like I'm going to die here today, Yi Zhang said. Don't try again, useless Sheila, you will all die here today. Chapter 50. What did you do? Scylla asked frantically. Why should I tell you? Nangong Long had previously blocked this area with magic, but he was not idle enough to explain his moves to his enemies. If anyone else dared to talk to Scylla like this, he would kill them without saying a word, but now he was angry but dared not speak. With every step Nangong Long took towards them, Sheila and the others became more frightened, as if an invisible hand was tightly grasping their hearts. Yan Xin couldn't stand this atmosphere of fear, and finally collapsed to her knees, begging Nangong Long for forgiveness. It's all my fault. I'm blind and I'm just a dog. Please be magnanimous and let me go. If you touch a dragon's reverse scale, you will die. Reverse scale? Are you talking about me? The girl's thoughts were surprisingly synchronized at this moment. No, I don't want to die yet, Yan Xin screamed and turned around, wanting to escape from this terrified place. He thought that if he could run away, he would never come to the Empire again in his life. Secret prohibition pitch-black tentacles rose from the ground, directly imprisoning Yan Xin in place, making him unable to move. What's this? Yan Xin struggled with all his might, but unfortunately he was still unable to do anything to the black tentacles. Seeing Yan Xin like this, the rest of the wild hounds realized that it was impossible to escape. 10,000 ghosts devouring souls, dozens of dark red whirlpools of various sizes appeared around Nangong Long, and from them came a chilling aura that made the living extremely disgusted. Under the horrified gaze of the crowd, bloody ghosts appeared one after another. All the ghosts pounced on Yan Xin. Gee! Hearing Yan Xin's miserable howl, Zilla's heart trembled. He didn't see any scars on Yan Xin's body, but there was no doubt that he was suffering unimaginable torture at this moment. Experience the pain of having your soul eaten away bit by bit. After all, this is a rare experience that only comes once in a lifetime, said Nangong Long, looking at Yan Xin with an expression that said, "You've made a fortune." $711. At this moment, if Yan Xin could still speak, he would probably say, "Screw you, I don't want this feeling in my life." So who's next? Nangong Long said, looking at the remaining people. It's you. Nangong Long pointed death at Zilla. You can't do this, I'm the minister's son. Zilla's eyes were red with anger. Whose son you are is none of my business, Nangong Long said disdainfully. Dead Bones Execution. A huge cross of bones suddenly appeared under Zilla's feet, and then dozens of bone claws stretched out from it and imprisoned him on it. What are you going to do? If I die, my father will never let you go, Zilla threatened with a ferocious look. Seeing that Nangong Long had no intention of stopping, Zilla turned her head and shouted frantically at Yi Zhang and the others, "Come and save me, don't forget who gave you the imperial tool." No one paid any attention to him. They had already avoided him when Nangong Long pointed at Zilla. Who would go up to him at this time? Kala, Kala. Cracks began to appear on the ground around Sheila, and it looked like something was about to come out of the ground. You. Dried bone claws stretched out from the ground, and then pressed hard on the ground, pulling out the body buried in the ground bit by bit. The fully crawled skeleton began to approach Sheila. The skeleton extended its bony claws toward Sheila and stabbed him mercilessly. QG. Quick, stop it, I will give you whatever you want. Sizzle. Before Zilla could finish her words, she was interrupted by the pain that penetrated deep into her bones. The skeleton tore the flesh off Zilla's thigh. More and more skeletons gathered, and Sheila's screams became louder and louder. Whenever he felt the pain was unbearable and was about to faint, an inexplicable force would bring him back to consciousness, allowing him to clearly feel the pain of his body being torn apart every time. Before long, Sheila's wailing disappeared completely, leaving only a bloody skeleton. Zilla's tragic death was more horrifying than Yangzhen's death. After all, Yangzhen did not have any scars on his face when he died. But in fact, Yangzhen's death was far more painful than Zilla's. Seeing Nangong Long shift his gaze again, a busty girl with obvious alien features hurriedly said, "Don't kill me, I'll do whatever you want." She suppressed her fear and gave Nangong Long a charming look. As she spoke, she pulled her collar down a lot, revealing a large area of snow-white skin. The looks of the girls behind Nangong Long suddenly changed. It was certain that even if Nangong Long let her go, the girls would still chop her to death with their knives. "It's not my turn yet, how can you have a share?" Cole was so angry that he started swearing. Seeing his companion's surprised looks, Cole blushed and blurted out the truth. "The fact that Zilla likes you means you are just trash, but I don't want to torture a woman, so I'll just give you a quick death. Heart mastery. The foreign girl suddenly fell to the ground and lost her voice. No one could understand what had happened. At least the first two had a prelude, but this one was over right away. You're dead, let's see if you dare to seduce Long again, Mio muttered. Although the voice was small, Cole who was standing beside him still heard it. Miozi, you too. Miozi acted as if she hadn't said anything and continued looking at Nangong Long. Yi Zhang drew out his sword. Zhang Shui, I know I will die today, but as a swordsman I will not allow myself to retreat. For me, defeat means death. Take it. Yi Zhang rushed towards Nangong Long at an unprecedented speed, swinging the most powerful and last sword of his life. Nangong Long grabbed Zhang Shui who was attacking him in the face, and then punched Yi Zhang in the abdomen. Nangong Long used a special force technique and did not knock Yi Zhang away, but instead spread the force throughout his body, shattering his internal organs and bones. Looking at Yi Zhang who had fallen to the ground but had not died immediately, Nangong Long said, You are a qualified sword slave but not a swordsman. People control swords to be swordsmen, but you are a sword controlling people to be a slave. Yi Zhang closed his eyes and died with a smile. It was unclear whether he was laughing at himself or happy that he had reached the peak of his life before he died. There are only two of you left. I promised to leave the fat man to Lan, so it's you next, little one, Nangong Long said to Duotia. Chapter 51. In order to further improve the reading quality, the author is revising this chapter. Please read this chapter again after 24 hours. Please see the next chapter. If you have subscribed to the VIP chapter, you will not be charged again for the next viewing. If you have not subscribed, no fee will be deducted for this time. Chapter 52. At the Revolutionary Army headquarters, the top brass are gathering to discuss how to overthrow the empire. We have already contacted the Western ethnic groups. The governors of the major cities also agreed to let us open the city gates directly. Other rebel forces also agreed to cooperate with us. Everything is ready, the time to overthrow the empire is coming soon. Just when everyone was full of fighting spirit, a different voice sounded. But do we really have a chance of winning? As death, Bud, Nangong Long, can we win? Of course, no matter how powerful they can't defeat an army of 1 million. So why did you include Nangong Long in it? Didn't Nichiren say that Nangong Long's strength is even greater than Asteth's? It's only natural to take that into consideration, isn't it? 700 Haha, our spies have sent back news that Nichiren has led the night raid team to defect to Nangong Long. It seemed that she had casually advised us to submit to Nangong Long before, but now it seems that she had planned it in advance. So, when she said that Nangong Long was very strong, it must have been an exaggeration. Wouldn't the situation be worse if this happened? All the members of the night raid are equipped with Imperial tools. We also have the Imperial tools, so it's okay. In order to put an end to the atrocities of the Empire, we must kill them even if it means we have to sacrifice human lives. You're right. If you miss this opportunity, you won't know when the next one will come. The arrow is on the string and has to be shot. Can't we consider Nichiren's previous proposal? In my opinion, if Song wants the revolution to succeed and the people's lives to improve, I don't care who is in charge and who is the emperor. Impossible, who knows if Nangong Long is deceiving us? What if it's a trap? I trust Nichiren as a person, not Nangong Long. Stop talking nonsense. Nadezhda has betrayed the revolution. You are speaking for her like this. Do you also want to? Enough. Stop saying this kind of thing. What's the point of arguing? What we need to discuss now is how to win this war, shouted the leader of the Revolutionary Army sitting in the first seat. The person who suggested considering Naja also shut up. He knew that it would be useless to continue talking. How could he not understand the reason why these people were firmly opposed to joining Nangong Long? They are not afraid of damaging their own interests, but they have probably forgotten the original intention of the revolution. A Ning Road Master, why are you sighing so loudly? The war is about to start, and I don't know how many people will die this time. There is nothing we can do about it. If we want to overthrow the empire, we have to make sacrifices. I know, but I still hope to minimize casualties. Master, there are very few people like you. Nothing, I'm just doing what I want to do. Please inform all the cadres to act according to circumstances on the day of the uprising. I have a bad feeling that the Revolutionary Army may fail. What? Can't we overthrow the brutal empire? No, the empire will still fall, but the Revolutionary Army is the only one who can win people over. Could it be that some other forces are intervening? Maybe. Our goal is to make people do good deeds and live happily. So as long as we can change the empire, it doesn't matter to us who wins the final victory. Do you understand? Understood. I will convey your meaning right away. Western ethnic groups, this time we must take back the land that once belonged to us, but I hope the casualties can be kept to a minimum. After we meet up with the Revolutionary Army, we can just let them hold the line. After all, a death is not someone you want to mess with. 400,000 people were buried alive by those guys in the north. Indeed, I don't want to experience that kind of horror either, so we should try to avoid a head-on confrontation with her. The people of the Empire have been oppressed terribly. They will definitely rush forward without regard for their lives. We can just take advantage of the situation and fish in troubled waters from behind. King, are we really going to follow the Revolutionary Army's plan? Do we have to burn, kill, and rob along the way? Let's not do that. Why? Are you stupid? If we massacre the city when we go, who will open the city gates for us? If we fail to reach the imperial capital in time and the Revolutionary Army fails, how can we get back the lost territory? In the end, we may be attacked by both the Revolutionary Army and the Empire at the same time. Another person couldn't stand his companion being so stupid and couldn't help but curse. Yes, that's it, Wang nodded in agreement. We'll talk about everything after we get the land back. After this civil war, the Empire will be seriously damaged. It won't be too late for us to seize it then. The king is wise. Royal Palace General Bud, the Revolutionary Army and the major rebel forces have been very restless recently. You are the culprit for the Empire becoming like this. What's the point of saying all this? It's your duty to protect the palace for General Day, Yinshan said indifferently. You don't need to tell me. If the rebels dare to step into the palace, I will kill them all. Of course I believe the general has this ability. If you have nothing else to say, get out of here. I don't have time to talk to you, Bud said impatiently. Hearing this, the minister did not want to stay here any longer and make himself bored, but turned around and left. As for Bud's harsh words, the minister didn't care at all. As long as Bud could guard the palace, he would continue to do whatever he wanted. Revolutionary Army, Nangong Long and the traitorous Death, if you dare to attack the imperial city, I will make sure you never return. As long as the emperor is still under my control, I will never lose, the minister said with a ferocious smile. Looking at the minister walking away, Bud put away his disguised angry expression. He didn't care what happened to the empire. Now there was only one person he was loyal to, and that was Nangong Long. 0.1 Is the time ripe? Lord Nangong will soon become the new emperor. I'm really looking forward to it, Bud said to himself. The reason why Bud became like this was because Nangong Long used magic to change Bud's allegiance a few days ago. Nangong Long really had no confidence that he could convince Bud with his words. After all, he is an old stubborn person. Duke's Palace Long, it has been confirmed that the Revolutionary Army will launch a general offensive in 3 days, said Mara. Nich can no longer receive any news from the Revolutionary Army, so Mela is in charge. Yes, I understand. We've finally waited until this moment, Asteth said excitedly. It's okay, right? Nich said. Don't worry, I have arranged everything. Victory will only belong to us. Well, we believe you. Chapter 53. The Revolutionary Army repeatedly opened the city without bloodshed and marched quickly along the way, and arrived at the imperial capital 5 days later. Just as they expected, everything went smoothly until they were about to attack the imperial capital in one go and win the long-awaited victory, when something unexpected happened. A large number of unidentified humanoid creatures suddenly appeared outside the imperial capital. No one knew what they were, but they felt fear instinctively because the aura emanating from them was too ominous. For this reason, the Revolutionary Army stopped its offensive, as any rash action might have resulted in heavy casualties. A general of the Revolutionary Army frowned. What are they? Maybe it's an unknown dangerous species, one person guessed. They are wearing armor, so they are more than just dangerous species. They might be the Empire's trump card. It's likely that the Empire conducted some horrific experiment that turned humans into such a horrible appearance. Otherwise, there is no way to explain why they are so close to human shapes, analyzed a man who looked like a staff officer. What? How dare you do this? Everyone was furious. Even as they were communicating, the 24 undead legions continued to emerge in an endless stream, as if there was no end. The number is still increasing. Where did they come from? Can we really win? A general began to waver. The lofty words he spoke before departure could no longer stop the fear in his heart. Not only him, but even the hundreds of thousands of soldiers behind him were trembling. Of course, it is better for those who are at the back. After all, they can no longer see the scene in front, and the information they get is only from their companions in front. Shut up! Disrupting the morale of the army is a capital crime, shouted a man who looked like a general. In fact, he was also very scared, but he did not allow himself to show a timid expression, otherwise the war would be lost before it even started. They haven't attacked yet. It seems someone is directing them. If we can convince them, we can avoid this battle. Everyone was silent. Everyone knew that the possibility was extremely small. How could the Empire send someone who could turn against the Empire at any time to fight the enemy? But no one was willing to speak up and shatter this hope. At this moment, the army of suspected dangerous species in front began to separate neatly to both sides, leaving a straight path in the middle. Someone came out when the generals of the Revolutionary Army saw who was coming, their pupils shrank instantly. It was her. Naj walked out from the center of the undead army, followed by all the members of the night raid. Surrender, you can't win, Naj advised. Impossible, how many of our companions have sacrificed for this day? Isn't your goal to overthrow the Empire and let the people live a happy life? This is the same as the Duke's goal. Why are you so stubborn? Stop using sweet words here. He just wants to be the Emperor himself. Who knows if he will be the next tyrant? That sounds nice, isn't it? Marin said sarcastically. We are fighting for the people, how can we be like him? In this case, shouldn't you surrender? Can't you see that you have no chance of winning? Resistance will only result in the soldiers' sacrifice in vain, Naj continued to persuade earnestly. Naj shouldn't, if you really care about the people, then order them to move aside immediately and let us into the city. You will be credited as the first to succeed in the revolution. Boss, it looks like there's nothing more to talk about, Brand sighed. You all know what kind of person I am, Nadzita. Those who trust me should put down their weapons. The soldiers looked at each other. To be honest, they wanted to lay down their weapons and surrender. The closer they were to the front, the stronger this desire was. On the one hand, it was because Nadine had a certain prestige in the Revolutionary Army, and on the other hand, she was simply intimidated by the Death Knight's hideous and terrifying appearance. However, no one really laid down their weapons and surrendered. After all, the leader hadn't given the order yet. If they rashly laid down their weapons, they might be killed by their own soldiers. So it was better to wait and see what happened at this time. Seeing his men wavering, the leading general immediately said, "Don't listen to her nonsense. She has already betrayed the revolution in us. I don't deny that I betrayed you, but I definitely haven't forgotten my original intention, and I haven't betrayed the revolution. I don't want to listen to your excuses anymore." Attack. He was afraid that if he waited any longer, the soldiers would lose their fighting spirit and surrender directly. Hey, let's get started, Naja sighed and said to Sage number 1 who had been waiting for a long time in the 10th row. Yes, number 1 does not have any extra mercy. He only knows that these ignorant humans have blasphemed the mercy of the Supreme Lord, so they must die. Number 1 begins to command the undead to attack, and the Death Knight is responsible for protecting the Archmage of the Dead and allowing him to cast magic safely. Looking at the flying fireballs, lightning, ice cones, and ominous black aura, the soldiers began to hide in panic. What is this? Ah! 07107, help! Don't want the Ripper and Frankenstein rushed into the crowd and began to kill without restraint. Ordinary soldiers were no match for them for 10 years. In an instant, arms and limbs were broken and blood splattered everywhere. On the other side of the city, Seleucus was leading his guards to evacuate the panicked people, asking them to return to their homes and wait, and telling them that everything would be over soon. Not only Siriu, most of the girls in Nangong Long's family are also doing this. Of course, this is not Nangong Long's order, but the girls want to do it themselves. For this purpose, Nangong Long assigned a lot of undead soldiers to each girl. After all, not every girl has explosive combat power. At first, the people were naturally very frightened when they saw the horrific appearance of the undead, but since they had someone in command and did not attack them, they felt relieved. More importantly, the people leading these terrifying guys were the Duke's men. The people of the imperial capital already knew that Saleto was judging the evildoers who oppressed the people. Since Saleto was the duke's man, everyone thought that this behavior was instructed by Nangong Long. In addition, Nangong Long often did good deeds, which led to his extremely high prestige among the people. As for the money used for charity, it naturally came from the proceeds from the confiscation of property. Nangong Long wanted peaceful rule, so he naturally hoped that the people would believe in him, so he built up a lot of reputation in advance. Chapter 54. Royal Palace. Bud was leading the guards at the main gate to prevent thieves from breaking into the palace. He did this not to protect the emperor but to protect the integrity of the palace. After all, Nangong Long would become the new emperor, and Bud naturally did not want the palace to become dilapidated. General, don't we need to go out and quell the rebellion? No need. Our duty is to guard the palace. We don't need to worry about other things. Just stay at your post. Yes, inside the palace, Your Majesty, it seems that we can only use the National Guardian Mecha, said the minister. Why? Aren't those strange subordinates of Duke Nangong annihilating the rebels? The little emperor asked curiously. Your Majesty, Nangong Long has long had rebellious intentions, otherwise why would he have waited until now to show such force? And the one commanding those weird guys is former General Nishitan. I'm sure that after annihilating the rebels, the next target will be us. Is this true? The emperor asked in shock. What I said is absolutely true. How could it be like this? Why are they all against me? Minister, did I do something wrong? The little emperor said sadly. Your Majesty is wise and powerful, but they are ignorant and cannot understand Your Majesty's achievements. Is that so? Since the minister said so, then I am definitely not wrong. Your Majesty, let's quickly activate the Guardian Mecha, it will be too late if we delay any longer. Okay, we'll throw it away now. Soon, the emperor and his ministers arrived at the location of the Guardian God. This is my first time operating this. Will there really be no problems? The little emperor asked worriedly. No problem, you are the emperor. Minister, you are right. I am the emperor and have the obligation to protect the 1,000-year-old empire, the little emperor said firmly. What is that? The little emperor controlled the Guardian Mecha and released a huge flame from its chest, rushing towards the battle between the revolutionary army and the undead soldiers. In a short time, there were heavy casualties, and even the streets were affected. Nich and his companions, who were protected by several lieutenants, were naturally unharmed, but apart from the Death Knight, many other undead soldiers died. Because of the Guardian Mecha, the morale of the revolutionary army was shaken even more, but the undead soldiers were not affected at all and still strictly followed the orders of Sage Number 1. Is that the supreme imperial weapon that Long mentioned? I hope Long will be okay, Tsukushi said worriedly. It will definitely be okay, Nij comforted her, but after seeing the power of the supreme imperial weapon, she no longer had the confidence she had before. Haha! Roar! This is the consequence of going against me, said the minister standing on the roof grimly. Is this the supreme imperial weapon? It's quite powerful, but its huge size will create too many blind spots, said Esteth. That's true, but how many people can get close to it? I'm going to take care of him. I'll go with you, Okay, but don't rush too hard, Nangong Long reminded. Okay, Esteth said with a smile. She still enjoyed Nangong Long's concern. As for whether she would remember it during the battle later, that was another matter. Then I will go and kill the minister. After all, this has always been my goal, Leon said. Nangong Long threw a bracelet to Leona. Take it with you, you'll need it. Okay, Leon nodded in response. 4 Rakshasa ghosts, you and Leon go together. Yes, I'm glad that you care about me, but do you really not believe in my ability? Leona frowned. The minister has practiced in the Royal Fist Temple, after all. He is not a glutton. Zhu Tian, tell Bud who is guarding the palace to stop defending it and to clear out the corrupt officials in the palace. Clear. After Nangong Long finished his instructions, Leon rushed to the palace with the 4 Rakshasa ghosts. Nangong Long and Esteth ran towards the supreme imperial weapon. The minister on the rooftop was furious when he saw Nangong Long. Secret technique to activate the supreme imperial weapon. Purge mode. Nangong Long, you little BD, I'm going to kill you today. I'm the final winner, ha 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 ha. What's going on here? The little emperor who was controlling the imperial device was terrified. He didn't understand why such a change happened suddenly. However, he was soon corrupted by the imperial device and turned into a tyrant who only knew how to kill. A huge amount of energy began to condense in the chest of the Supreme Emperor, but its target was not Nangong Long but the revolutionary army outside the city. Perhaps because Nangong Long was too small, the little emperor did not notice it for a while. Upward transfer. Seeing the huge energy bomb coming, the revolutionary army was in complete despair. At the critical moment, Nangong Long's figure appeared in the sky. Half dimension, plus. Nangong Long used Terubian's ability to weaken the energy cannon until it disappeared. What? This is impossible, why did my attack disappear? It's the dragon, here he comes, Bonnie shouted. I don't want to cause too much killing, surrender, Nangong Long said to the revolutionary army on the ground. Snap! When a soldier dropped his weapon on the ground, it was like a fuse, igniting the entire battlefield. Yes, yes. Nudge, I'll leave this to you. Don't worry, I'll take care of this. Partner, it's time for the world to show our dominance, Nangong Long murmured as if talking to himself. Has this moment finally come? Albion sighed. Ba Long I, awakened to the second dragon who was deprived of everything by the tyrant principle. The body is full of jealousy, the heart is seeking fantasy. I, the tyrant of the white dragon. Invite you to enter the limit of innocence. Although the sound was not loud, the people on the ground could hear it very clearly. Nangong Long's figure in the sky had completely changed into another appearance, and he looked like a dragon that had been shrunk several times. This unusual feeling of oppression, the dragon really turned into a dragon. Bonnie was stunned. Bang! A sonic boom sounded, and Nangong Long instantly returned to his death. Sure enough, your armor has a stronger form. Damn it all, no one can form a counter-alliance. The runaway little emperor controlled the supreme imperial weapon and released a large amount of energy ray attacks, not only shooting at Nangong Long, but also at innocent civilians in the distance. The people who were unable to dodge could only wait in despair for death to come, but something unexpected happened. The monster that everyone had just feared, the Death Knight, stood in front of the people and took the attack that seemed to be fatal. The same thing happened in other places in the imperial capital. Chapter 55. It's protecting us, the people thought. At this moment, the people's attitude towards the undead soldiers changed fundamentally, from fear to gratitude. Thank you, roar. The Death Knight cannot speak human language, so he can only use this method to express what he has heard. Don't worry, the Duke is trying to find a way to stop that big guy, and the suffering will soon be over. So, you must hold on. Now please follow our instructions and evacuate to a safe place, Salo shouted. The people regained their hope and evacuated the area under the command of the security team. Sister Silu, Long will be okay, right? Shehu said anxiously. Of course, the dragon is the strongest. Long, you must win, Lu Xiang. After seeing the astonishing destructive power of the Supreme Emperor's weapon, the other girls were also worried about him. Be careful. Nangong Long held his death and dodged the attacking energy beam. Got it, let me down. Supreme Fist. After the first attack failed, the little emperor immediately controlled the Supreme Emperor weapon and swung his huge fist at Nangong Long and the other man. Nangong Long 677 directly raised his fist and chose to fight against the Supreme Emperor's weapon. In the eyes of the little emperor, this was tantamount to hitting a rock with an egg, but the result was completely opposite to what he expected, and he was the one who was beaten back. How is it possible? Isn't my imperial weapon the strongest? The little emperor asked in doubt. This is impossible, the minister standing on the roof shouted hysterically. But after a moment, he regained his composure. I didn't expect that brat to be so strong. Looks like he's going to run away. He. As long as I escape, I can still fly freely. Nangong Long, you can't kill me. Having said that, the minister turned around and prepared to leave. He didn't care what would happen to the little emperor. The little emperor was just a puppet he created to ravage the country, so it was not a pity to throw him away. Where do you want to go, the source of evil? Leon, who rushed to the roof, grinned. The minister's aura made her very disgusted. 4 Rakshasas, how dare you traitors come to see me, the minister said grimly. We just know the current situation, Ji smiled indifferently. If you are willing to protect me and let me leave here, I can forgive the past, the minister said firmly. In fact, he was panicking now. The 4 Rakshasa ghosts were not imperial weapon users, so his anti-imperial weapon was completely useless. Although his strength was not weak, he had no confidence in winning against 3 of the 4 Rakshasa ghosts at the same time. As for Leona, he completely ignored her. She was just an imperial weapon user. If anyone dared to attack her, he would just destroy her imperial weapon. "I'm sorry, Minister, you must die here today," said the horse head. "You are seeking death." King of Beasts Leon directly activated the imperial weapon and attacked the minister. She didn't want to listen to the minister's nonsense anymore. "You are the only one who will die." Ireston, the jewel on the minister's head, shattered instantly. Imperial Fist 100 splitting fist. The minister thought that this move would seriously injure Leon, but the opposite was true, and he was the one who was knocked away. "Bang! Why wasn't your imperial weapon destroyed?" the minister asked in disbelief. Leon glanced at his left wrist and saw that the bracelet he had worn there had broken into pieces and disappeared. "You don't need to know, die." Leon rushed towards the minister who was lying on the ground. "Everyone must die. Anyone who disobeys me must die," the little emperor said crazily. "If there is another anti-aircraft cannon, I don't believe you can block it," the little emperor said frantically. "Freeze it." Esteth activated her ability, binding the Supreme Imperial device in place, making it unable to move. Supreme Cannon Half Dimension. "It's time to end it." Nangong Long began to approach the Supreme Emperor's device at a very fast speed. The little emperor had no choice but to control the Supreme Emperor's device and put his arms in front of his body to block the attack. However, these were all meaningless. Nangong Long directly pierced through it. The little emperor instantly lost control of the imperial device. The Supreme Imperial device slowly fell backwards. The powerless little emperor cast his gaze towards the rooftop, looking for the target he had always relied on, but unfortunately he saw nothing. "How could it be?" the little emperor said with tears in his eyes. The minister had just been beaten half to death by Leon and dragged downstairs. She thought it would be better to hand the minister over to the people for punishment, so she didn't kill him directly. "The dragon wins, it's all over. The Duke won the battle, and we are saved." $73. The people cried with joy. Selu and others began to settle the people, while Naj was receiving the revolutionary army. Everything is going on in an orderly manner. As for the attacking Western ethnic groups, they had long been annihilated at the border by Nangong Long's undead legion and had not even been able to reach the imperial capital. 3 days later, Nangong Long ascended the throne as emperor. "From today on, I am the state, Your Majesty." Naja became the new minister, responsible for governing the country. Esteth is still the general, responsible for conquering foreign enemies. Afterwards, Nangong Long brought all the girls to the palace, and of course he did many unspeakable things with them. 3 months later, everything in the country was back on track. Nangong Long immediately announced his intention to conquer the northern ethnic minorities and expand the empire's territory. As for why they are northern ethnic minorities, it's simple: because they are Esteth's enemies. On this day, Nangong Long was wandering on the street. To be honest, he had sneaked out. "What should I buy? Otherwise, Naja will nag me again when I get home." Is there anyone?" Feeling that someone was following him, Nangong Long changed his route and headed for a sparsely populated area. As soon as he walked to a deserted place, a dozen people with various weapons rushed out from behind and surrounded him. Without saying a word, he attacked directly, obviously intending to kill him. But how could these people be Nangong Long's opponents? He knocked them to the ground easily. Finally, Nangong Long grabbed a girl of a different ethnicity and said, "You were sent here by the northern tribes, right?" A man lying on the ground fired several shots at Nangong Long, but he hit his companion first, because the foreign girl was facing Nangong Long, and if he wanted to hit him he had to shoot through the girl first. "Ahem, I'm going to die now. How miserable." They were attacked mercilessly by their own companions. Nangong Long said to the girl, Save me." Duia said with difficulty. "Why are you okay?" The shooter collapsed. Chapter 56. Multiple bone guns. Nangong Long stabbed all those who were still breathing. "It's not impossible to save you, give me a reason. I can do things for you, even if it's as an insider," Duia said intermittently. "Remember your words." Nangong Long directly fed the healing potion to Duia, otherwise he would have hesitated before letting her drink it herself. The reason why he kept her was not because he wanted her to be an insider, but because Nangong Long simply had some impression of her. Duia thought that the other party had given her some poison to drink, but she didn't expect that the wounds on her body healed immediately, which surprised her. "Thank you, Master," Duia said gratefully. "Call me Your Majesty." "Yes, Your Majesty." "Tell me, what happened?" As your majesty said, we are from a foreign ethnic group in the north, but I am just a killer. As for those who died, they were soldiers, Duia said. You don't want to keep killing me. I dare not, I dare not. If I had known that your majesty is so powerful, I would definitely not have taken this business, Duia said with a wry smile. Why? You don't want to avenge them or kill me to stop the crusade. They cheated me and I was expected to sacrifice myself for them. That's impossible. Duia looked at the corpse on the ground angrily. She didn't expect that she would die at the hands of her own people. Instead, the target of the assassination rescued her. Life is really unpredictable. Come on, go shopping with me, your majesty. They should have sent more than one team. We should return to the palace now, Duia reminded. Do you think they have the ability to kill me? Nangong Long shrugged indifferently. Cannot, there's no need to change your itinerary. Duia was speechless. She knew someone was trying to assassinate her, but she could still be so leisurely. It could only be said that people with strong power can be very willful. Nangong Long took Duia to the commercial street. Your majesty, why are you traveling alone? Duia asked curiously. If they hadn't seen that Nangong Long was alone, they would not have rashly launched an attack. Running away, run away. Ah, too much work, come out to take a break. Hello, your majesty. Seeing Nangong Long coming, the people bowed and greeted him, with heartfelt respect and gratitude on their faces. Don't worry about me, just do what you should do. Why would I come here if you don't do business? Nangong Long said with a smile. The people dispersed as instructed. After all, this was not the first time such a situation had happened. Although they were still nervous, the people were almost used to it. Your majesty is really close to the people, and everyone seems to be full of hope for life, Duia said with emotion. Because I am the emperor. Nangong Long took Duia into the clothing store. Your majesty is here again to buy gifts for the ladies. Isn't it? I'm so envious. I also want to be your majesty's wife, said a young girl. Then you have to work hard. I guess people who like his majesty can line up from the palace all the way to the city gate, joked an old lady selling vegetables. Do you have to be so exaggerated? Not at all. Your majesty is now the dream lover of the girls in the imperial capital. He is approachable and cares deeply about his wife. Who wouldn't love him? I also want to be as popular with women as your majesty, said an uncle selling fruits. However, he didn't know that his wife was standing quietly behind him. Why do you dislike me? No, I was just joking. Ouch, honey, be careful, your ears are going to fall off, the uncle wailed. The people around looked at this scene with amusement. This was a scene that had never happened in the empire before. Your majesty, we have already prepared the clothes you want, said the shop owner. Are you satisfied with it? If not, I'll ask someone to redo it immediately, said the shop owner, pointing to a white dress. Well, come back. Naja actually likes long skirts very much, but she was always busy with revolutionary affairs in the past, so for convenience she always chose to wear clothes that were easy to move around in. Afterwards, Nangong Long went around again and bought a lot of things. After all, every girl has different preferences. Let's go back Royal Palace. Long, you ran away again, Naja said helplessly. And who is she? Don't worry about these for now, just take a look and see if you like it, Nangong Long said as he took out the long skirt. Trying to bribe me again. Although she said so, Naja still happily accepted the gift. Tell me what happened to her, Naj said, changing the subject. She is Duia, who was sent by the northern alien tribe to kill me. I saved her and now she has come to rely on me, Nangong Long said lightly. What a mess, Marin complained. Nangong Long briefly described what had just happened. I really think I'm not dying fast enough, Main complained crazily. I will send people to investigate this matter and find all the foreign races lurking in the imperial capital. I will deal with this matter later. You should first look at the general guidelines for governing the empire in the future, said Nudge. Still couldn't escape, Nangong Long looked through the documents. Okay, let's do it as you wish, but we have to add a clause that every city must build an orphanage and a school. It's no problem to have undead soldiers to work with, but it still costs a lot of money. It's okay. The empire is not short of money. It's the people who are short of money. When the empire's garbage was cleared, the wealth was piled up like a mountain. I plan to hire people to do this, increase their income and improve their lives. This is a good idea. I believe that the public will actively participate in it, Naja said with a smile. With the orphanage, no other child will have the same experience as me, said Marin. Certainly after the discussion, Nangong Long went to find other girls and gave out the gifts he had bought to them one by one. 3 days later, Nangong Long took the girls to a border island for vacation. Nangong Long was lying on a beach chair basking in the sun while the girls were playing in the sea. Happy times always pass quickly, and in the blink of an eye it was night, and Nangong Long brought the girls back to the palace. Today, Nangong Long didn't go to any girl's room, but stayed in his own room alone. Do you want to start drawing rewards? Yes, Ding. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the cyborg transformation card template, Genos, complete. The reward will be distributed in the next world. There is such a thing. If you have a template number 17, I can walk sideways, Nangong Long complained. But you can't always be lucky. Nangong Long still has a very good attitude. The system selects the next world. Ding, the next world is Black Bullet, please choose one. The protagonist route 2. Randomly generate an identity. Random confirm completion. Do you want to start crossing? It's work.
If you're enjoying the story so far and want to hear the next parts, don't forget to like the video. It really helps the channel grow. And if you'd like me to continue the series, drop a comment below letting me know. Your feedback and support keep these audiobooks going strong. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.